Is your host, Braden Surprenant.
What's up, San Diego, and a happy Friday to everybody out there in America's finest city. We're live here at Baja Rick's. We're going to be here until 2 o'clock. I'm Braden Surprenant. He's Frank Marchese. Thanks again for tuning in to 97.3 The Fan, San Diego's #1 sports station, as we get you ready for Padres baseball coming up tonight. Final weekend series of the regular season. Final series of the regular season as the Padres take on the Arizona Diamondbacks. It'll be the last time they're wearing the City Connect jersey, too. I had to bust out the City Connect today just in, one more time, Frank, of the City Connects.
Might as well. Going away.
They might wear them maybe at the beginning of the next season because sometimes the teams do that before they flip to their new ones.
I've heard.
We don't know when they're going to get the new ones yet.
If anything, I've heard rumors also that it's supposed to be like a more in line, not as wild and crazy as this City Connect.
More in line?
Yeah. Well, more like traditional.
They're already done. They've already made them.
Of course.
They were working on them as soon as they released these. They were already ready on the next batch. So can't wait to see what those are like next year. But tonight's the final night for these, at least in the regular season. It's the final beer fest, the final Friday. And, the thing is, and we heard Ben Woods talking about it, this could be like a couple of different ways to look at this series. It could either be important, depending on what happens in Chicago earlier this afternoon. I think they play at 11:20 this morning. I mean, we'll be able to monitor that Chicago Cubs game that they have this weekend against the St. Louis Cardinals, the 3-game series against St. Louis. And here's how it lays out. If I'm not mistaken, since the Cubs lost last night, hey, how about those Mets, huh? How about those Mets, Frank?
One time somebody else is happy about the Mets.
That's right. You know what? We're going to be happy about the Mets. Well, no, I don't really care about the Mets now. They got the fish. There's no more. They can't help me anymore. But this week, taking 2 out of 3, still holding off the Reds. Did you guys send flowers to Paul Skeens and Levit Dunn this week for the Pirates?
No, I've heard a couple Met fans may have sent Levit Dunn some deodorant. Apparently,
we don't need to talk about.
Rude.
That's a foul on you.
That is a
foul on you already to start. Foul on you to start, but
also a chair react from Adam in the back there for another foul on him. There you go. So we got 2 already this morning.
No.
And we're less than 5 minutes into the show.
Poor Adam's doing a lot of different stuff back there. We appreciate it. That's a foul on Frank. All right, so here's the deal with this weekend. And we could talk about this all sorts of different ways. But this weekend is either the weekend that you rest guys up, or you know what? You could still potentially host a playoff game on Tuesday. Now, for us, I'd love to see us host a playoff game on Tuesday. You know why? Because we'd probably be back here at Baja Rick's on a Tuesday in October. It'd be a great time. And we're going to be down here all day. We're giving away a lot of different things today. We have 5 T-shirts to give away for people that come out in attendance. We have a Manny Machado signed baseball that we'll be giving away at the end of the show.
Nice.
And you must be present to win, by the way. We're not going to call your name and then ship it to you. So you must be here. You have to go say hi to Nathan, Cher, and Presley. Sign up with us. They're going to draw your name out of a hat, and you have to be here to win. So we have 97 through the fan shirts. We have the signed Manny Machado baseball. There it is. And then we also have a Xander Bogaerts bobblehead as well that we're all giving away on this show before Matt Scraby and Chris Ello show up for Gwen and Chris to lead us into the pregame show, the Ecowater SoCal Padres pregame show. On top of that, Sam Levit is expected to join us in the 1 o'clock hour. So Sammy will be down here with us at 1. Got to pay off the bit.
I was going to say the quarterback or the
quarterback.
Padres pre and post.
We're trying to distract the quarterback for Arizona State as much as possible since they take on the show's favorite team of the TCU Horned Frogs tonight at 6 o'clock. I'll be able to watch the first 30 minutes of that game, and then I got to lock into Granite Hills Cathedral instead. So that will be that's part of the bit. Drake Hills will join us here live at Baja Rick's 2 in the 1 o'clock hour. We'll talk some soccer with him, some college football, and he is a local guy too. So obviously we like to talk a lot of Padres baseball and local people. So we'll have that in the 1 o'clock hour as well. A lot of Padres baseball talk. We will also get into the NFL whip around. We'll talk some high school football today, college football. It's going to be a fun time here at Baja Rick's. So come down, enjoy the time, hang out with us. We'll be here until 2 o'clock. And then lead you into Chris Ello and Matt Scraby for Gwen and Chris. All right, back to this weekend series, okay? There's a couple of things that you can go about this weekend series. And with the day off yesterday, it's really hard to talk about the week that was against Milwaukee. Padres took 2 out of 3 from the Brewers. The Padres go 4-2 against Milwaukee this season. If the Padres advance in the first round of the playoffs, they will take on Milwaukee again. I like the matchup against Milwaukee. I like the travel schedule, too. I mean, they're going to go let's just say they don't achieve what they need to achieve to host on Tuesday. You fly to Chicago, you're going to be out there the entire time. When you take 2 out of 3 from the Cubs, you take like an hour train ride to Milwaukee? I mean, you're just it's just right up the road. And so they'll be base camp there, and they won't be back here until October 8th, again, if they take care of business against the Chicago Cubs. So here's how it lays out. This weekend, the Cubs have to go 1-2, and the Padres have to sweep if you want to host on Tuesday. If the Cubs, if the Padres go 2-1, then the Cubs have to get swept by the Cardinals. I think the most realistic thing would be Cubs lose 2 out of 3 to St. Louis. St. Louis knocks them out of a home field advantage as a rival. And then San Diego has to sweep Arizona, which is a difficult task. And the other thing, too, it's not like Arizona's done. Arizona's still alive. I will say they're still technically alive in the wild card race, which is really fun to watch because they needed some slug yesterday. It would have been nice. Would have been nice if they traded for Josh Naylor and they traded for Eugenio Suarez at the deadline.
Well,
oh, wait. Oh, they already had those guys. Maybe some of these teams should not sell at the deadline. I mean, that's happened a couple of times now. The Tigers made it, though. The Tigers made it last year by selling. And then still able to. They sold Jack Flair, and they still made the playoffs. Arizona's 2 games back. With a win today, are they eliminated with a win? With a Padres win and a Mets win?
Who eliminates it? Cincinnati?
Arizona's 2 games back.
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, Arizona would be if the Padres win and if the Mets win, yeah.
Correct. So they would be eliminated, and then it would just be the Reds and the Mets battling for that final spot. So that's the other thing. What does Arizona do this weekend against San Diego? They're going to be full go tonight to try to win, to try to stay alive in the wild card. But if the Padres win tonight, they could just basically put Arizona out of their misery, not have to worry about anything the last 2 days, rest some guys, and maybe hopefully still win. But I think the biggest determining factor of this weekend series and how you play this weekend series lies in the 11:20 Cardinals-Cubs start. Miles Mikolas against Colin Ray. How about that? 2 former Padres farmhands going after it today at Wrigley Field with Miles Mikolas and Colin Ray.
The first pitch for that game will be in about an hour and 10 minutes from now. But yeah, that could be a marker, as we were hearing Ben and Woods talk about. That could be a marker as to what the Padres do today, as far as, do you fight for the you already know you're playing the Cubs. Now it's a fight for, are you going to Chicago or are you coming here? And as they were talking about on the morning show, yes, this is certainly a huge game, depending upon what you do, that directly impacts what you do here tonight, how you play tonight.
And again, the Cubs could theoretically win tonight or win this afternoon, still lose the next 2 days, and you're still kind of behind the 8 ball. But if the Cubs lose today, I think you got to continue to, compete. I mean, not to say the Padres aren't. I mean, they got to get ready for the postseason anyway. There's some guys that probably could use a break. Like, I don't want to see. I mean, with the thing is, the biggest question to me is not the position players, because you can't have a wholesale change. You don't have enough guys on the bench, so some guys have to play. It's almost like in spring training, you have to have at least like 3 or 4 guys in the lineup that are going to be normal starters have to be out there to play. But to me, it's how you manage the pitching staff, because you obviously don't want to use the high end, high leverage guys to an extent, but at the same time, guys like Jeremiah Estrada, man, like probably need a couple of days off. Adrian Morejon probably needs a couple of days off, right? I want them fresh for Tuesday. Maybe use Mason Miller once, maybe use Suarez once. I mean, them throwing once this weekend, I don't think is that big of a deal. But some of those players in the bullpen, most like for me, it's Estrada and Morejon the most, could use a couple of days off.
Yeah, 100%. Those guys have been going the hardest all season long, and they've really. Jason Adam would be right in that category as well if he were still playing right now. Again, it depends on how much the Padres, the team, we know you guys, we know the fans, you guys really value the home field advantage. You guys want Chicago being here. Depends on how much the team values the home field advantage as to whether or not they want to, again, not concede, but not put their best foot forward here over this weekend and rest guys and get them ready for the postseason, or if they want to really make a run at it, get the wild card series here in front of their home fans because they think that'll give them the best chance to win.
I still think you can give a couple of guys rest and still be competitive and go after it. There's 100. There's no, there's no like conceding. It's like they're not trying if they give Manny a day off. It's not like they're not trying if they give a couple of, if they give Xander a day off. Like Wood said, I wouldn't mind seeing Xander get a day off. He's an interesting case study too because you want to get him back into shape, but at the same time he is, does have a broken bone in his foot that he came back from, and it'd be nice to maybe keep him off his legs. Maybe you just have Xander DHs one time this weekend. Maybe Manny DHs one time this weekend. What do you do with Fernando? I mean, Fernando's been sick all week. Does he need at-bats before Tuesday, or would you rather just have him relax the next 3 days? Maybe he DHs once this weekend.
I would rather him sit out because it's not an injury that he's coming back from. It's an illness. So I would much rather him be 100% ready to go, ready for the wild card series. If it was an injury, I'd want him in like maybe Saturday, or maybe tomorrow, Sunday. It's Sunday at the very least, but he's sick. So, I mean, I would rather him just fully recover, know that he's 100% ready to go for the wild card series.
I would agree with that. I mean, he could build up his strength and he could still get reps and batting practice. I mean, here's the other thing, too. If they had gotten a bye, this weekend would be the same amount of days that they'd be off anyway, right? So he would have had to – it's not like he's going to get rusty because the other teams are going to have to get rusty. I know that's a big contention and a big talking point because only when the Dodgers lose in the first round of the playoffs, all of a sudden it's a problem about the bye, but that's something to talk about too. He's Frank Marchese. I'm Braden Surprenant. We're here at Baja Rick's. We already got a nice little group of people coming. Braden Escondido's already showed up. He got me a gift. I'll show you guys what he made for me when we come back. We'll also talk more Padres and Diamondbacks. We're just getting underway here at Baja Rick's, down at the gas lamp. Come down, say hi to Nathan, Sharon, Presley. They can get you signed up to win some potential prizes. You must be present to win. We got a Manny Machado signed baseball. We got a Xander Bogaerts bobblehead. We got T-shirts, 97 through the fan shirts. I got Braden Surprenant show shirts too. Nathan's already rocking one, showing it off. It's great. Appreciate that. So off and running here at Baja Rick's on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. Frank Marchese, Braden Surprenant, the Braden Surprenant Show, down here at Baja Rick's. We're on L Street, corner of L and 6th, in the gas lamp just across from the Hard Rock Hotel, just a couple steps away from Petco Park. We're going to be here up until 2 o'clock, and then we're going to have Chris Ello and Matt Scraby here doing their show leading up to the Ecowater SoCal Padres pregame show. Sam Levit will be he'll be joining us at 1 o'clock. We got a lot of things we got to ask Sam. I want to know what he thinks about the TCU 3-3-5, 4-2-5 defense he's gonna see tonight. I want to know what they think about how they're going to slow down Eric McAllister tonight. I don't think they're going to be able to. And how does it feel going against a guy like Josh Hoover, who's a better quarterback than he is? Those are all questions that need to be answered. I like the inside joke. And for everybody that drives around that's a college football fan, they're laughing with us. Laughing with us.
Yes, they are.
Sam Levit is not the quarterback for Arizona State. We will have the Sam Levit that is more beloved here in town in San Diego, which would be the one that hosts the pre- and post-game show. We have our Sam Levit. We'll be talking Padres baseball with our Sam Levit. Drake Hills will join us in the 1 o'clock hour as well. Okay. Well, we talked about it being important. The last 42 games, the crucial 42 is going to be the difference in the season between making the playoffs and not making the playoffs. On top of that, that was going to be the difference between winning the division, not winning the division, or maybe even getting a home playoff series or not getting a home playoff series. Most of the crucial 42 for us was comparing to the Dodgers. But then we also had the final 31, because when the final 31 games were about to start, the Padres and Dodgers were tied atop of the NOS standings. So we hadn't given you the updates on the crucial 42 for most of the time, but the 42 is done. We have made it through the crucial 42. How did we do, Frank, in the crucial 42? Now, the crucial 42, this is how this came about. You're going to win 60 games. You're going to lose 60 games. It's what you do in those 42 games that's going to determine whether or not you make the postseason, whether or not you have a winning record at the end of the year. Crucial 42 for us was playing, and we made it to the point where that stretch of August was going to be very difficult, right? And again, you could pick it. That's different spots where you could pick the 42 games. But for us, it was, that stretch from August 1st through with a couple other series mixed in and a couple other games mixed in to determine whether or not the Padres are going to make the playoffs. They obviously clinched the playoff spot. How did we do, Frank?
Wasn't that bad, actually. Started off a little sketchy, going 2-2, splitting a 4-game set in St. Louis. But after that, you swept a team. Then you got then you took 2 out of 3 against St. Louis, 2 out of 3 at Arizona, 2 out of 3 versus Boston, swept San Francisco, got swept by the Dodgers.
That hurts.
That was not good. But then you got right back on track. You took 3 out of 4 against San Francisco. Then you took the home series, 2 out of 3 against the Dodgers.
Which set up your now final 31.
Yeah, and then things kind of fell off the rails a little bit. You lost 2 out of 3 against Seattle. We claimed that first game in Minnesota was going to be a part of this because you have the long travel after the rough divisional stretch. You lost the opener in Minnesota. Lost 2 out of 3 against Cincinnati here earlier this month. A couple weeks ago, you had lost 2 out of 3 in New York against the Mets. And then you just took 2 out of 3 against the Milwaukee Brewers. So all of that in total, 24-18. So you did go over 500 in the Crucial 42. Right now, you're looking to go, I believe you're looking to get back to 500 in the final 31 right now with this series.
Now, the final 31 is different. That was to try to win the division.
Yeah,
but again,
that was just straight the last 31 games, yes.
But those Crucial 42, having a winning record means that you're going to have a winning record on the season.
Correct.
Set yourself up to make the playoffs. So you look at the final 31 games. Now, this was different than the Crucial 42, right? The final 31 games was the 31-game season you had against LA to try to win the division. And the thing is because at that point you were tied at the top of the division with LA, and it got bad out of the gate. You lose 2 out of 3 to Seattle. Dodgers sweep Cincinnati. You lose 2 out of 3 at Minnesota, a team in the American League that was not doing well, a team that's near the bottom of the standings, a team that decimated their roster at the trade deadline, a team that the day after the trade deadline only had 17 players on their 26-man roster. They had to backfill with all the baby twins coming up in AAA. And you lose 2 out of 3 in Minnesota. At least at that point, the Dodgers lost 2 out of 3 to Arizona, so you were still relatively around. You get swept by Baltimore, which is also not great, especially since the Dodgers went to Pittsburgh and got swept by Pittsburgh. I mean, you could have made up ground in that particular time of the year. After that, you take 2 out of 3 from Colorado. Dodgers continue to struggle. They lose 2 out of 3 to Baltimore, so you get a game back. Then you play Cincinnati. You lose 2 out of 3 to Cincinnati at home as the Dodgers beat up on Colorado. Then you get Colorado. You go 3-1. Great. But now at this point, the Dodgers have gotten themselves out of the jam that they have been in. They take 2 out of 3 from San Francisco. You knew they weren't going to do well against Philly. Padres equal what the Dodgers do, not taking care of business in New York. They lose 2 out of 3. And then you've matched with LA the rest of the way through. And guess what? You run out of time to make up games in the standings. That's why it's important to take care of business against bad teams, which honestly, you can't get mad at the Padres for that this much this year, because for the majority of the season, they did take care of business against teams below 500, because everybody wanted to bitch, moan, and complain about the fact that they couldn't do it against teams with a winning record. But at this point, they had their opportunities. This is why yesterday when we talked about letter grade for the season, the regular season, we're at a B+. I think they accomplished a lot with what they had. I think they accomplished a lot with, making the playoffs, obviously. At the beginning of the season, everybody thought it was going to come down to them in Arizona, maybe for the final spot, maybe for the 5th wild card spot as well. Padres really didn't have too much stress in terms of making the playoffs the final 2 months of the season. And I think a lot of that has to do with how great of a start that they jumped out to at the beginning of the year. But you look at their overall season, they played well, but it's the disappointing thing that knocks them down below an A grade is they had opportunities to do even more, and they didn't take advantage of it.
No, and again, that's that stretch there that we had gone over, that Seattle, first game in Minnesota, Cincinnati, and New York for the Crucial 42. That's where you lose the division right there. Starting the way you did in the final 31, going 2-7. That's where you lose the division, unfortunately. And as you going back to your point about taking care of business against bad teams, the White Sox are god awful. You took 2 out of 3. Great. You did what you needed to do. The 7 games you had against Colorado last year at this time, we're talking about the Padres going 3-4 against Colorado, talking about them going 2-5 against Colorado. You went 5-2 against the Rockies in those 7 games. So you took care of business against the teams that you needed to. Unfortunately, it was the teams that didn't really mean much, meaning the American League teams, the Minnesotas, the Baltimores of the world. That's where you didn't take advantage of them, and that is where you end up losing the division this year.
And then you don't get to do it. But here's the thing. I mean, the division would have been nice. To see the Western Metal Supply Company buildings, Western Division champs, that's cool. Feather in the cap, I think that'd be great too. The fact that this year the National League West wasn't getting a first-round bye, the path to the playoffs for the Padres as a 4 or 5 seed, regardless, whether they're hosting on Tuesday or going to Chicago, is a way easier path in terms of travel, in terms of matchup for your team against the squads that you're going against. I mean, I like it better than winning the division. I do. I mean, aside from the feather in the cap, right? And the hang a banner. It's great to hang a banner. But at the end of the day, as much as division championships are fun, they don't really matter in baseball. It doesn't really give you too much more of an advantage. We've seen teams with byes struggle, right? It doesn't give you that big advantage. It's not as bad as the NBA, where winning a division doesn't even make any sense. But it's not like winning the division in the NFL. It's not the same. It's not, and we've seen enough teams that are wild card teams win a World Series. And on top of that, you know what they all have in common? We'll talk about it next on the Braden Surprenant Show. San Diego's #1 sports station, 97 through the Fan. Live at Baja. Ricks will be here till 2 o'clock until Gwen and Chris on 97 through the Fan. Today's live broadcast at Baja Ricks is brought to you by Santo Tequila, 100% Blue Weber Agave. We're going to be down here at Baja Ricks for the next couple of hours, leading you into Gwen and Chris at 2 o'clock, and then the Equal Water SoCal Padres pregame show at, 5:40 tonight? 6:40 start?
Yep, 5:40.
They got some game day specials today here at
Oh,
Baja
boy,
Ricks.
look at that.
They look great. So the game day specials today, all day, Friday, September 26th, which is today. Got a lot of Santo Tequila specials. Again, this is the tequila that's sponsoring this endeavor, and you can come down and try it. But they have the Santo Reposado shots, Santo Margarita for $10, 32-ounce Coors Light drafts, $10 today. Santo Blanco shots and Tito's vodka or Jameson, $8 shots and cocktails. Blue Moon drafts, Pacifico drafts, $7 today. And, hey, here we go, Frank. Espresso martinis. You got espresso martinis today and Topo Chico seltzers for $6.
That would be awesome if I drank.
I could see you rocking the espresso martini, little martini glass. That seems up your alley if you drank, for sure. I've dabbled in an espresso
You calling me
martini.
bougie or something? Is that what you're trying to insinuate?
I am calling you bougie. You are from New York, so that's the very bougie.
No, that's called champagne tasting beer pockets is what that's called.
Is that what it tastes like? You want the champagne at beers? They probably got that here too. They also have a bacon cheeseburger quesadilla for $14 at TJ Dog. Buffalo chicken fries, $14. Hey, anybody mind if I have a day? Anybody mind if I have a Friday? That sounds great. There's a lot of other great stuff. They said the birria grilled cheese is to die for. There's a lot of stuff on this menu. I mean, I'm getting hungry. And we're not even in the noon lunchtime hour. Where are the tacos at? Where's Estrada? They got taco platters, too.
They do, just as I've seen.
Just saying. All right, we got the Ryder Cup going on right now as well. I don't know if you had time to look at the deal. I know Sushi Sam is all locked in on the Ryder Cup.
I'm seeing that in the
Sushi Sam,
chat
I think the chat has probably been up since 4 a.m. watching the Ryder Cup. Is that when they teed off today?
I believe so, yeah. It was
first group at like 4 in the morning. 4 in the morning West Coast time, not East Coast time. Bryson DeChambeau hit an absolute seed of a tee shot to get the thing going. Go USA, Team USA. We'll get you Ryder Cup updates as they become available. Again, we have giveaways today. Must be present to win. Braden Escondido's out here already. I think he's trying the tequila. How's the Santo tequila? Nice. He likes it. Hey, you know what? Anybody mind if Brad has a Friday? That's right. He's ready to go. Somebody tell his brother Scott and Rancho Bernardo to get down here. He's got Brad's buying tequila shots for buying tequila shots for the entire Baja Rick's establishment today. His brother's going to be jealous. 833-288-0973, 833-288-0973 if you want to join the show. When you come down here, again, whether it be during our show or Gwyn and Chris, but if you come down just for Gwyn and Chris, it's a foul on you. I'm talking to you, Juan, in the chat. Come by, say hi to Nathan, Cher, Presley. They're here. You got a table for you as you walk in up the ramp where you can sign up to win a lot of giveaways today. We have giveaways. We have a Xander Bogaerts bobblehead. We got T-shirts from 97 through the Fan. We got Braden Surprenant show shirts as well. Nathan's rocking one of those. We got a signed Manny Machado baseball that we're going to give away in the 1 o'clock hour when Sam Levit joins us in that hour and Drake Hill. So we're going to do a lot of giveaways. You must be present to win. So get down here to Baja Rick's and hang out with us until the Padres game coming up at 5 at pregame show at 5. Equal Water SoCal Padres pregame show at 5:40. First pitch at 6:40. Padres and Diamondbacks. We will try to keep you updated on what's going on in Chicago. That's obviously has big impact on the Padres this weekend. In terms of like what they're playing for, they got the 5 seed basically. And they know they're playing the Cubs. Now, the only thing that might change is they could flip-flop with Chicago in the 4-5, which means either Tuesday they're in Chicago or Tuesday they're here at Petco Park. Probably, a lot of us would love to see them here at Petco Park. You want to know why? You guys out there, the fans. The home field advantage that the Padres have had this year, the home field advantage that they've had the last handful of years, and how the team plays off that energy at Petco Park. We saw it. We saw it in the wild card round last year. I mean, first of all, Atlanta kind of wore themselves down. But on top of that, fans were relentless. I mean, we hear that ad every time you watch the Padres on TV, on Padres TV, wherever you may get that. I mean, you get to see the same ads every single time. But how many times do you hear the quote from Jackson Merrill? You guys are relentless. You are. Be nice to use multiple of our assets to our advantage. One, home field advantage with playing in front of the home crowd here in San Diego. But also, number 2, the bullpen. And being able to use the bullpen. I talked about it going to break. But have you decided what you wanted to eat yet?
I have not. No, I'm probably not going to eat anything until later on.
Well,
the show
obviously, but you got to be dabbling in a couple of things. It's a little chilly by the coast. You know, Rick said not Baja Rick, but Rick, our sales guy. He said the lobster corn chowder is good.
See, I don't have the stomach to be able to dabble in a bunch of things anymore.
You got to get the little. You know what? The people that complain about the fancy restaurants with the little tiny.
That's perfect for me right now.
Perfect for Frank. Another reason why you're bougie.
No,
you walked into that one.
Yeah,
walked into that
one. I'm sure that has nothing to do with the fact that about a year ago, 80% of my stomach was taken out of me. It has nothing to do with that.
No, you're just bougie, Frank.
Got it.
No yellow pants today. I like that.
Yeah, no yellow pants.
Would your mom let you out of the house if you were wearing yellow pants?
No,
absolutely not.
No,
I love the yellow pant rule. I love the yellow pant rule. All right, we discussed this going to break. before we got distracted with the bacon cheeseburger quesadilla. Looks phenomenal on the specials menu. What all these World Series teams have in common, what a lot of them have in common, and a lot of it, to be honest with you, is not only veteran experience, but a lot of these teams have postseason experience. And postseason experience matters. I totally believe that. That's why, the regular season and the postseason are two totally different animals. You could start zero. I know that it's the cliche, it's the coach speak. We're all starting 0-0, right? Everybody's starting anew. But you look at the teams that have won the World Series in the last handful of years, most of them have playoff experience. Whether they have it as a team or they have individuals on their team that have been there and done that before and understand what it is like to play in postseason baseball, to play in October on the big stage in front of big crowds, high energy, going high emotion, low. A lot of highs and lows. Last year, obviously, it's the Dodgers. As a team, they had a lot of playoff experience, right? The Texas Rangers the year before, they had a manager with a lot of playoff experience and also some veterans on that team that have been there and done that in the playoffs. You look at the year before that, right? In 2022, Houston Astros, multiple times playoff experience. And you look at, just the World Series winners, they got guys on their team that have been there, done that before, have World Series experience, but also playoff experience. Postseason pedigree. Annie Halbert did a good job of laying this out in the San Diego Union Tribune. And that's why I want to discuss it a little bit more about the postseason pedigree of your San Diego Padres. Padres have 21 players on their roster with postseason experience heading into October. One of the most battle-tested clubs they've had. How about that? This is one of their most battle-tested teams that they have assembled together. One of the teams with the most playoff experience that the Padres have been able to put together. Those other teams that they've had, like 2022, right? Even 2024, those are teams that didn't have as much playoff experience. Last year, Jackson Merrill had 0 playoff experience. You could even count to Fernando. Fernando didn't have a lot of experience in the postseason. He had 2020, right? But 2020 was a little bit of a different playoff experience. Nobody's in the stands. I got to go to a couple of the games here against the Cardinals in the wild card. It was such a weird dynamic. It was like watching college baseball. You could hear both dugouts chirping every play, every pitch. It's a different experience. But this is Fernando's now third. His last time through was his second time. That was the last playoffs last year was the first time that Fernando was in the postseason with people in the stands. That was the first time. Remember, he wasn't part of the 2022 playoff team. Now he's going in with his third time in the playoffs. Manny Machado, 7th trip to the postseason, 4th with the Padres. Yu Darvish, 7th trip to the postseason. Xander Bogaerts, 7th trip to the postseason, 2-time World Series champion. Jake Cronenworth, Adrian Morejon, this is now their 4th time with the Padres in the postseason. That adds a lot. Now, there are some good players on this team that have not had playoff experience. Mason Miller is one of them. I know we're counting on Mason Miller, and he's got that gross slider mixed with that fastball that goes high velo 104 that we've seen him top off at 104 at Petco Park. He's a guy that's going to have to lean on some guys in the bullpen about what it's like being in the postseason. On top of the fact that he's been playing in Oaklamento this season, but also even before that, he's playing in front of crowds that were just so anti the A's management and ownership that he wasn't playing in front of big crowds with high energy and high level situations. It's going to be interesting to watch Mason Miller pitch. I don't think it's going to affect him too much, but I think there's something to be said about playoff experience. A couple of players talked with Annie about their lessons from the experience. Nestor Cortez threw on 3 days rest in the 2022 ALDS Game 5 for the Yankees. Quote, big boy pants moment for him. He learned October is all about valuable outs and at-bats. Gavin Sheets, postseason adrenaline can overwhelm inexperienced teams. Veterans handle the chaos better. He cites the Astros and how they've done in the postseason. Ramon Laureano talking about it. Now, he's a guy that you're not even going to have for the wild card series. Hopefully, if you win the wild card series and you get to play a division series, you get to see Ramon Laureano back. But he said a quote, game goes 100 times faster, and experience taught him not to try to be the hero. That's another thing, too. There's a lot of guys that try to be the hero. I think that's a big lesson for success in the postseason. What Ramon Laureano said, don't be a hero. But you look at this, Frank, and you look at the playoff experience before we dive into it anymore, I think it plays a huge factor. And the teams that have guys that have been there, done that before, low heartbeat guys, usually the ones coming through in the postseason.
Yeah, and it's the way you be a hero in the postseason is by doing your job, knowing what your job is, knowing what your role is, and not trying to extend that, because if you extend that, then you're pressing, and when you're pressing, you make mistakes. We talk about it over the course of the year when we see guys go into slumps. They're pressing, they're trying too hard. So to do that in the postseason right now, not the greatest thing in the world to do. So just go back to what makes you. Just be there. Just do what you need to do. Make sure you're doing it at the highest ability that you can, and don't try to do anything extra. Just do what the situation calls for. That is how you be a hero in the playoffs, not by hitting the big home run in the big moment, the backyard moment.
We've talked about the stats in the regular season and trying to lay out. I think here's the deal. This is my thoughts on this from Padres fans that are dooming about certain things. I think it's about Padres fans that don't think they can make a run and everything else like that. Remember, before 2020, the Padres had made the playoffs 5 times. That's it in their entire history. That's once a decade. In 51 years of existence, the Padres made the playoffs 5 times. 5 times. And in the last 6 years, the Padres have made the playoffs 4 times. They've almost equalized or surpassed the amount of times in the playoffs that they had the previous 51 years. It's not a guarantee that you're going to make the playoffs every year. You must enjoy it while you can. And here's the thing, and this is here's how I can relate to this. As a kid growing up in San Diego, San Diego wants to win a championship so bad. 100%. We talked about yesterday the whole fandom thing, right? Like what you can count, what you can brag about, what you can talk S about as a fan. Anything that happened before you were alive, it's really hard to talk crap about. So like the AFL championship that the Chargers won against the Boston Patriots over at Balboa Stadium, it's not really something that you can really brag about, but that's the only championship this city has. It's looking for its first one. And so you're nervous about it. You're nervous about the playoffs, and you don't want to get disappointed. You don't want to set yourself up for disappointment, because you know that feeling of getting eliminated is just not fun, right? With that, I think a lot of people are trying to brace themselves for disappointment instead of just enjoying the ride. And they look at, well, man, he's struggling in this last month, and that's going to equal this in the playoffs. No, it's not. Or the starting pitching is struck. Dylan Cease has never been able to figure it out this year. It's just going to be an ultimate disaster. We'll never make it through. It's not. It's a different game. They play a different game in the postseason. And the Padres are actually, in my opinion, and we've talked about this a lot, I think they are more built for October than they are for the regular season. Because now winning in October is built on bullpens and having arms and fresh arms ready to go every single inning and getting your starters out early. Think about the starters the Padres have. They got guys that do well in the first time through. Now, they've been ambushed the last couple of months, last month, really, in the first inning. I'm telling you, they're gonna fix that problem. Playoff baseball is a different level. And the starting pitchers that you're worried about have been good first time through the order. Go look at their stats. Statistically, they've been doing that. Dylan Cease getting the first time through, bang. All of a sudden, you go to the bullpen. You can do Randy Vasquez, first time through the order, bang, go to the bullpen. You could probably rely a little bit more on Pivetta and King, go through the order twice. Even then, get to the bullpen. You got all these extra days of rest, and you're trying to win individual games. I'm telling you, the experience matters in the postseason. That's why this entire last 2 months, when people are freaking out, the entire time this show has been We're not worried about it. We're going to be in October, and everything changes in October.
No, it's like you've been saying. You cannot watch a baseball season like it's a college football season or an NFL season.
We've said that since day one of the show.
You don't. The season doesn't live and die on every single loss or every single win. There's too many games that get played. You're playing every single day for 6 months. That's a long time. That's a lot of opportunities to have a run. Also, a lot of opportunity to have a losing streak. So it's you have to look at chunks of time and not single days, and where those chunks of time, you take a look and you see the positive results that you're getting out of more chunks of time than negative, which is what the Padres have had this year. That's where you live and die on a season, not a game-to-game basis.
Some people are worried about going to Chicago and playing a game. The Padres, I'm telling you right now, I don't care how scrappy the Cubs lineup might be. Their big guys have not been performing very well.
No.
You just watched the Cubs the last 3 days.
Yeah.
What can you tell us about the Cubs now watching in a big spot with I mean, that was playoff level baseball, was it not this week?
Yeah.
For the Mets and the Cubs?
Like Sam said, Shota Imanaga, who is expected to face the Padres in either game 1 or game 2 of this wild card series, 6 hits, 6 runs in 3 1/3 innings.
Against a playoff team.
Against a playoff team.
That was playing like it was the playoffs.
Yes. So yes, Shota Imanaga is very good, but he's not immune to having a bad night, which is what you saw last night. So it can happen. It can definitely happen. The Cubs pitching staff is not great. Those were high-scoring games.
Mm-hmm.
And the ball was flying out of Wrigley, left, right, and center all weekend. So
I'm not afraid of playing at Wrigley either.
No.
I'd like to play at home. I think it'd be more fun. We'd be here at Baja Ricks on Tuesday, which would be great. But Padres have taken care of business on the road a little bit more. It seems like. Their record doesn't show that. But at the same time, I just feel like in the playoffs, the Padres have done fair on the road. And again, it's a different animal.
How'd you win the series in LA against the Dodgers in 2023?
You went up to LA.
Yeah, you won in LA. You did not have home field advantage.
You beat the Mets in New York.
Yes, beat the Mets in New York.
The series you lost in 2022 is the one that you hosted.
Yes.
Against Philadelphia.
Yeah. So it's nice to have home field advantage. It's not home ice advantage in hockey where you need to have it. Anything can happen on any given day. There are too many moments. There are too many games for one moment to be the be-all, end-all.
Well, the other thing, too, in baseball, it's almost with the way that the series plays out where you go 2-3-2, it's better to be the away team because you only have to win one to start. Absolutely. Because as soon as you win one game on the road, right, you get the home field back. You don't have to travel back, and now you can build off the momentum. I think in baseball, in the 2-3-2, the pressure's on the home team more than it is on the away team. Because the away team knows, all right, we're not supposed to win here. But if we get one, we don't have to come back. Because now our home crowd's going to be electric, tied 1-1, or even up 2-0. And then we don't have to fly back to Milwaukee, or we don't have to fly back to Philadelphia. That's a Game 7 situation. Game 5 situation, a little bit different. What's left to figure out in the next 3 days? We'll answer that question when we come back. We're live at Baja Ricks here in downtown. Braden Surprenant Show, hour number 2 when we come back. Braden Surprenant Show live at Baja Rick's at 170 Sixth Avenue down in the gas lamp, getting ready for Padres baseball at 6:40 with Frank Marchese out here at a live remote. It's your first time out here, huh? It's a good time.
Yeah, no, it's been great so far. Getting here was a lot easier than I anticipated being, because I was taking the trolley in this morning. Left really early because I know the trolley station parking lots get packed pretty quick, but it found parking easily. Waited a little bit. Walk over here from the 12th and Imperial Station was nice. Everything's been great so far.
It's been great. It's been a good time down here. We're getting a lot of great help from Nathan, Sharon, Presley, our promo team. If you want to win some stuff today, go sign up with them. You must be present to win. We're going to be giving away a Xander Bogaerts bobblehead in the noon hour. We got T-shirts to give away in the noon and 1 o'clock hour. We're going to be giving away a Manny Machado signed baseball in the 1 o'clock hour as well. So you got to come down, sign up, be present to win. And here's the deal. You come down here early for Padres baseball. It's a Friday. Start your weekend off. Okay, get some lunch here with us at Baja Rick's at noon in the noon hour, or just down here right now at 11 o'clock. Hang out, have a good time. If you're coming down a little bit later, Gwen and Chris will be here. That's a foul on you if you show up for Gwen and Chris and not us. But you know what? Get down, park.
He draws the foul.
There it is. Foul for everybody that comes down to see Gwen and Chris and not us. That's a foul, for sure. Come down, say hi, hang out, and get your parking done. Uber down here if you want. Get yourself it's better to come down to a ballpark early as a fan. Relax. Walk into the stadium at your own leisure, not to worry about like frantically getting down here, fighting the Friday traffic. Fight the Miramar Air Show traffic, by the way. I had to deal with that yesterday coming down. I had a Holiday Bowl meeting. I'm a red coat now. Did you hear about that?
I saw.
It's great. I was specifically told not to say anything in the meeting during the midday show. So,
Don't want that reputation.
Whoops on the NASCAR stuff a couple months ago on that. But no, I had the meeting down there. It was cool. And they're doing – Sports San Diego does such a great job. Now being a part of it and seeing behind the scenes of what they're doing to bring tourism to San Diego and filling hotels and bringing us sports fans in San Diego, a lot of cool events. It's great to see, and it was great to be a part of it. And they got more stuff planned and coming. It's got to be great. And we'll have Mark Neville on, when those events start coming up and they want to start talking about it, promoting it. But I remember I was driving down to Snapdragon because that's where the meeting was. And the 15 was backed up, and I was coming from Cathedral. We had our walkthrough, and the 15 was backed up at Pomerado Road, where the exit I usually take to go to my house. And I was like, what is the – and I saw a jet fly over. I'm like, oh, everybody's stopping on the freeway to watch the –
Got it.
Don't do that. Don't do that. You cannot stop and pull over on the freeway and watch the air show. CHP is going to get mad at you. Don't do it. Their air show, I think they got a couple today, right? They go Friday, Saturday, Sunday, if I'm not mistaken.
Usually it's a whole weekend deal.
So you're going to see that throughout the entire weekend of just Blue Angels and other jets flying all over San Diego. So again, if you're taking the 15 at any point in time, just be prepared that there's going to be people that want to pull over and watch. And CHP will get mad at you. So don't do it. Definitely don't do it. You don't want to. The Miramar air show traffic stinks. I forgot about that because I got to get to Cathedral after today's show because we got Granite today. It's homecoming too, so that's going to be even more hectic. Oh, by the way, foul on me. I'm just going to give it right now. Foul on me. Guess what I did last night?
He draws the foul.
I woke up. I was so upset. What a circus. A self-deprecation time right now before we dive into what we're watching for this weekend. Last night, so every Thursday, I basically got to do laundry of the football clothes that I need. So my red polo, my khaki pants, right? It just got to be
Did we not
all my
do
Don
laundry
stuff.
of the football stuff?
No. No. I had some of the clothes I was going to wear today to the thing. Thank God I didn't have to wash my City Connect. People are like, whose number? It's mine. The Padres gifted it. My name's on the back. It's not anybody else. We all got 22 because it was the 2022 season. So next year, if they so kindly, which I would love, Padres, if you're listening, would love a City Connect jersey next year. I would love to have number 27 on it, personally, but I would imagine it's probably going to be 26 for next year. But anyway, I digress on that. Luckily, this didn't need to be cleaned. So last night, I do the laundry. I throw my red polo, coaching polo, the khaki, Lululemon pants. Yes, I wear Lululemon. It's great. The most comfortable pants ever. Not wearing them right now because they're, we'll get to that in a second. And some other things that I need for this weekend. I got USD volleyball tomorrow at noon. That's not as much of a pour one out like we are for Nikki P, who's got a wedding tomorrow. I have to miss some games, but at least I'm working some games at the same time. So are you Jake from State Farm? Apparently we are as a Cathedral coaching staff. So anyway, I washed the clothes. And then last night I'm watching football. I'm tired. I went to bed at like 9. I went to bed before 9 o'clock last night watching the football game. By the way, what in the world were the Arizona Cardinals wearing last night? That looked great from a distance. Then you zoomed in. You're like, what is on their jersey?
It's a tortilla is what it is. That's
How
what it
Texas
looked
Tech
like.
of them. It was crazy. It was crazy. I looked at the uniform. I'm like, oh, these are kind of cool. They're kind of like a cream sand, and the helmets were tight. I'm like, what's with the paint splatter? My mom asked the question about it. She put it in the is it really muddy in there at the field right now? What's with all the mud all over? No, that's part of the jerseys. Oh, that was the design. Yeah, that was rough. So I do the laundry. I throw it into the dryer. Okay? I did a quick wash. I throw it into the dryer. I go to bed. This morning, I get up, shower, get all my stuff ready. I go downstairs to get the pants, have everything packed so I can go straight to Cathedral from Baja Ricks. I reach in. The clothes are soaking wet. I forgot to turn it on. I didn't turn on the dryer. I was like, what? I couldn't believe it. I was so ticked off this morning. I pulled the clothes out of the dryer. I'm like, these are soaking wet. And I'm like, okay, well, I might as well just dry the 2 things that I need. And I'm drying it. And I'm like, this is not going to be great. Had to change a little bit. So I went with these pants today, not the Lulus. I can't afford Viore, Jocelyn. And here's the deal. Viore's CEO is a USD guy. So I'm waiting for the Viore contract with USD to try to get some gear, some Viore gear. Be great. So different costume change today. I have to now go home first, then go to Cathedral, and I got to get in. And hopefully, my stuff is dry. I did remember to turn it on before I left for my clothes. But yeah, that was my morning. I've been a circus the last 2 days. There's too many things going. I have too many things going on with too many outfit changes. I mean, I already get away with wearing enough Cathedral football stuff. Like during the show, I would prefer to just wear normal clothes and not workout coaching clothes. But you know what? Then I have to change into that. And then last night I had to. So yesterday I can't wear the Cathedral stuff to the round table. I think that's disrespectful to the round table. So I wore whatever I wore yesterday. I can't remember. And then I had to change the Cathedral stuff. And then I had to change back into, it was college colors theme at the Holiday Bowl meeting. I was the only Horned Frog there, to no surprise. No surprise. Anyway, that was that. Let's talk about, first of all, we're here, live at Baja Ricks. Today's live broadcast at Baja Ricks is brought to you by Santo Tequila, 100% Blue Weber Agave. And here's the thing, Blue Weber Agave. We've already had some people try the tequila when they were here. There are some great tequila deals today, too, as a matter of fact. Santo Blanco shots, $8. Santo Reposado shots are $10. We have some espresso martinis are $6 today at Baja Ricks. Topo Chico seltzers are $6. If you want a 16-ounce Pacifico or Blue Moon draft, that's $7. You can get a 32-ounce Coors Light for $10 today down at Baja Ricks. Come on down, say hi, hang out with us. They got good food specials, too. Bacon cheeseburger quesadilla, $14. You get a TJ dog for $10. Buffalo chicken fries, $14. Anybody mind if we have a day? I know Frank's going to have a day ordering a little bit later. But It's a good time down here at Baja Rigs. Come on down. We're at 176th Avenue. We are giving away a Xander Bogaerts bobblehead. We're giving away a signed Manny Machado baseball. We're giving away T-shirts. That's all going to come in the noon lunchtime hour. You got to go check in with Nathan, Cher, and Presley when you get here. You must be present to win. All right. I talked about it, and you know what? I kind of want to tease it for the next segment, but what's left to figure out in the next 3 days with the San Diego Padres? AJ Cassavell put together his list of things, but for me, I'm going to ask you, Frank, what are the three? Give me three things that is left to figure out for the Padres in this 3-game series against Arizona.
Starting rotation, the health of your pitching staff, and the health of your players, your overall players. That would be my big three.
Health, pitching staff, and what was the other one?
Well, it's the health of and the availability of the rotation, of the bullpen.
I think that's fair.
Yeah.
In terms for me, I think how you're going to play this weekend is very interesting to me. I think a lot of it depends on what is happening in Chicago, which just got underway. Cubs and Cardinals just got underway. Miles Michaelis, Colin Ray is the pitching matchup for Chicago and St. Louis. 2 Padres farmhands dueling it out. Now, I think however that game plays out, if it's in favor of St. Louis, which means it's in favor of the Padres, I think you got to treat today like a normal game. If you want to give somebody a day off in the lineup, I think it needs to be a DH kind of spot. Like if you want to give Manny off his legs, let him DH. You want Xander off his legs because he's coming off with a broken foot, have him DH. One of those moves is fine. I still think this weekend you should probably limit how much you use Jeremiah Estrada and how much you use Adrian Morejon. Those are 2 guys that have been pitched a lot in the last 2 months. And then the last thing is making sure everybody gets enough reps to be ready for Tuesday. Because we keep talking about rest. I want to make sure everybody gets exactly what they need in terms of repetitions in game to be ready for Tuesday. And if they don't need a lot, then they don't need to play. But I think a lot of how you manage this weekend starts with what happens today in the Cubs-Cardinals game. Because if the Cardinals win, I think you got to go. I think you got to go for it to try to win a spot to host on Tuesday. I think that definitely needs to be in play. Now, if you lose tonight, then you don't have to worry about it. Padres have to go 3-0 this weekend to even be like really part of the conversation, unless the Cubs get swept. So here's what you need if you want to host on Tuesday. What you need to do if you want to host on Tuesday: sweep and have the Cardinals take 2 out of 3, or take 2 out of 3 and the Cubs get swept. That's it. That's the only thing that could potentially happen for the Padres to host on Tuesday. The other thing is you're about to find out whether or not Arizona is going to be competing this weekend or not. If you beat Arizona tonight and the Mets beat Miami, Arizona's done. And now you don't have to worry about them the next 2 days because who knows what they're going to do. What are the other things that we're watching for this weekend? We'll tell you when we come back. Braden Surprenant Show. He's Frank Marchese. I'm Braden Surprenant. We're live at 176th Avenue at Baja Rick's. Come on down, say hi. We got some tequila specials for you, some other food specials. It's a great time. Come on, have your lunch with us as we take you to 2 o'clock in Gwynn and Chris on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97 through the Fan.
When you
11:19 on a Friday here in America's finest city. A little cloud cover today. A little marine layer. Early. You felt some misting earlier, Frank.
Yeah, I did, and I felt it a little bit more during the break. But fortunately for us, we are right in the gap between the awning and the umbrellas, so that's good. At least we got that going for us.
That's great. Yeah, we have. I got to try to fix the wires are all complex. All right, we're good to go.
Stood up, and that was the end of it all.
That was the end of it all. Yeah, that's what happens when I sit down. That was the great part. But here's the thing: there's a slight gap between the umbrellas and the awning, right in line with our laptops. So hopefully it doesn't start raining. I don't think it will, but a little bit of the mist has rolled in over here at Baja Rex. It's a great time. We're starting to get a little bit more of a build here as people get ready for lunch. They got great specials today. Baja Rex game day specials. They got espresso martinis for $6. They got Topo Chico seltzers for $6. 16-ounce Blue Moon and Pacifico drafts are $7. Santo Blanco shots, $8. You could also get a Tito's vodka or Jameson for $8. They also have a Santo Reposado shots for $10, Santa Margarita $10, and a 32-ounce Coors Light for $10. They got bacon cheeseburger quesadillas. I heard that's delicious. Maybe we have to get one of those, Frank. Who knows? That's $14, and the TJ Dog you could get for $10. Buffalo chicken fries, $14 on a Friday. Not a bad time. All right, let's talk about what we teased last segment about let's figure out in the next 3 days. And AJ Cassville laid out what he was talking about. Now, you can talk about the clinch drama as much as you want. How about the last 2 years, the Padres clinching a playoff spot on an insane play? They clinched last year, 2024, on a triple play against the Dodgers to end the game. Kind of a walk-off play. And then you had Freddie Fermin walk it off on a single against the Brewers in the 11th inning to clinch in 2025.
It's called having a flair for the dramatic.
Padres have had a flair for the dramatic since 2020.
Yeah.
100%. Post-game celebration intense, but now your focus is now on October. And here's a lot of roster questions for October. Let me ask you this question. We could talk about this. Who starts game 3 for the San Diego Padres? It sounds like Michael King was going to start game 3. AJ Cassville has him kind of penciled in for game 2. I think it's going to be game 3, Michael King. So the question is, who starts game 2? We talked a little bit about this yesterday, but we do have the triple play. I mean, we do have the triple play if you want to hear it.
Nothing and one. Swinging away, ground ball to Machado. He hits third, that's one. Goes to second in time, on to first, a triple play! A triple play! And the ball game is over! The Padres clinch a postseason berth on a 5-4-3 triple play.
That's exciting.
And that was right after Jesse had called it, too. It was like, wouldn't it be interesting if we just saw a triple play here, not 30 seconds later?
I had a text from my friend, our friend of the show, Perez, right before that he would do something embarrassing if a triple play happened. And then the triple play happened immediately. Just right on cue. So maybe he needs to do that more.
Oops.
He needs to say he needs to do something embarrassing in order for the Padres to host on Tuesday. I think that needs to be in play. All right, so let's talk about who starts game 2. I think Pavetta's going game 1, and I think Michael King goes game 3. Who starts game 2?
Kind of lines up for Darvish to be the starter in game 3, no? Game 2.
Your options are Darvish, Cease, and Vasquez. We incited a riot by saying Dylan Cease should start any of those games with people. I mean, Padres fans don't even want him on the team right now. And we talked about on the roundtable yesterday about if you saw, and Woods brought it up, but if you saw in the celebration, Manny Machado puts his arm around Dylan Cease and he's talking to him, and Dylan Cease is nodding his head. That's got to be along, and we don't want to put words in his mouth, but that's got to be around the lines. They're going to need him to win in the postseason. He's going to have to pitch.
Didn't he start that game?
The clinch game? No, he started Wednesday.
Oh, okay.
So here's your options. It's Darvish, Cease, or Vasquez. Darvish has been inconsistent, but big game pedigree. Shined in the 2024 NLDS Game 5 against the Dodgers at Dodger Stadium. He has a recent arm slot change that has helped that AJ Cassaville's pointed out. I think, and again, we talked about the experience factor. I think the experience plays a big factor in the postseason. I'd rather have a guy like Yu Darvish with experience in the postseason starting a game over a guy like Randy Vasquez that has no playoff experience. I don't care how good Randy has been this year. I don't know how I feel about him starting a game in the postseason with zero postseason experience. As we talked about in the first hour, how this team has been built on playoff experience. The most playoff experience the Padres roster has ever had going into the postseason.
I mean, if you want to go with Randy Vasquez in the postseason, I don't mind that. I think it would be as
he's
a second.
Have to pitch too.
It would be as a second to Darvish in game 2. If Darvish goes 4 innings, the instant that he gets in trouble, bring Randy Vasquez in if you're trying to save a little bit of bullpen, or if you use too much of your bullpen in game 1, if Nick Pivetta has a little bit of a mare. So that would be my thought. If you are going to use, I think it's going to be Pivetta, Darvish, and King are your 3 for the wild card series. If you need to use Randy Vasquez, I would say it'd probably be in game 2 after Darvish gets in trouble.
I would rather use Randy Vasquez out of the bullpen in game 2 and then save Dylan Cease for game 1 of the NLDS if it doesn't go 3. Because if it does go 3. If it doesn't go 3, then Michael King starts game 1 against the Brewers. And then who knows what you got and then you got Dylan Cease with like a week off. And he could be used later in that series. And again, in the division series, you'd only need 3 starters because of the extra day off that the National League got in the division series that the American League got the benefit of last season. So for me, and here's the other thing. So we talked about Yu Darvish. Here's the deal with Dylan Cease. Struggled in high leverage spots. Volatile. And the other thing with Randy Vasquez, most consistent lately, but lacks postseason experience and underlying metrics are shaky. Out of all those options, to me, Yu Darvish makes the most sense. And I agree with you. Randy Vasquez coming in if Yu gets into trouble is not that bad of a play, because if you do that, here's the thing. Let's say everything goes according to plan in game 1, and you win game 1, and Pivetta goes like 6 innings, 7 innings, whatever it may be. In game 2, if Yu struggles and you're in a position where you don't want to tax your bullpen, you could have Randy eat 7 innings. And then you keep your bullpen fresh for game 3, and it's all hands on deck to try to advance into the next round. And your bullpen is your best asset in the postseason. Then all of a sudden it turns into King and bullpen day on Thursday, the final game in Chicago.
Yeah, 100%. And that's as far as he doesn't have the playoff experience. How do you get playoff experience? You got to pitch. You got to play. So if you want him to get that playoff experience, you have to find a way to get him that experience. And I think Cease, with how much he's pitched, how deep he goes into games, how many times we've seen him throw 100 pitches plus this season, if you leave Cease off of the wild card roster to save him for game 1 or game 2 of the divisional series, if you take both games in the wild card, I think Vasquez being that long relief option is the best and smartest option that the Padres have. Get him that experience, but you're not relying on him to give a good start.
We've been talking about the rotation a lot. We also want to talk about, obviously the impact that Laureano's injury will have on the roster and the lineup. And on top of that, who's making the final roster spots. We're going to get to that in just a little bit. But we do got to take a break. So we'll talk about the Laureano injury impact. We'll talk about the final roster spots when we come back on the Braden Surprenant Show. We're live at Baja Rick's, 170 Sixth Avenue. If you want to join the show today, 833-288-0973, 833-288-0973. He's Frank Marchese. I'm Braden Surprenant. Come on down. Hang out with us at Baja Rick's, live at 170 Sixth Avenue here in the Gas Lamp. Taking up to Gwen and Chris on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97 through the Fan. Can't count on much, but you can always count on Sundays of the NFL on CBS and Paramount Plus. Stream your local NFL game live every Sunday, all season long, starting at just $30 for your first year. That's $250 a month. Visit ParamountPlus.com/NFL to get started today. We'll talk about the NFL later on in the next hour, the noon lunchtime hour. Some people here getting some lunch. That California burrito that they got over there looks pretty good, Frank.
I saw it. I'd probably get through about a half a bite of it, and then I'm done.
You need like a sample plate of like
I
one
do.
little thing of each. But unfortunately, the menu is huge.
It's like
here,
a
so
little
there's a lot of
cookie-
stuff you can
It's like a
pull.
little cookie cutout of everything.
They got something. They got something for everybody here at Baja Ricks. They also got a game day special today that you can check out. Today's broadcast is sponsored by Santo Tequila. You can come out and try some of that today. They got some good deals on Santo Tequila on game day. So come on down to Baja Ricks. He's Frank Marchese. I'm Braden Surprenant. We're at 176th Avenue here in the Gas Lamp, getting you ready for Gwen and Chris. And then Padres baseball. Ecowater SoCal Padres pregame show will start at about 5:40. And we got some updates for you around Major League Baseball and the Ryder Cup going on. Frank, what's the latest for Team USA in the Ryder Cup? We got a couple of Aztecs competing for Team USA.
So as far as it sits right now, Team Europe currently leading 3-1 as far as the Ryder Cup goes. John Rahm's team currently playing Scotty Scheffler and JJ Spawn's team. Europe right now is up 2-1 in their up one hole in their run. Justin Rose and Tommy Fleetwood for Europe with Bryson DeChambeau and Ben Griffin. Currently, the U.S. is up 1 after winning the 5th hole. They've tied every other hole from there. Justin Thomas and Cameron Young for Team USA right now currently up 2 in their pairing through 5. McIlroy's group versus Patrick Cantlay's group, currently all square through 5 as it sits right now.
How about having multiple San Diego State Aztecs on Team USA? It's great. JJ Spawn, Xander Schauffele competing for Team USA. And it's been fun. That thing started this morning at 4 in the morning Pacific time?
Yeah, right around there.
So Europe needs 14 of the matches to retain the championship. USA needs 14 and a half to win. 4 of the 28 matches have been completed so far as we start the Ryder Cup weekend, which is going to be fun. It's a fun thing to watch all week. This is why we said it's a tough weekend to have a wedding to go to. R.I.P. Nikki P. How to be a best man at a wedding. It's good. College football slate's great. We're going to talk about that later on the show. We got NFL football on Sunday. We got a lot going on in Major League Baseball this weekend that we're going to talk about as well. Plus, you got the Ryder Cup going on. I mean, this is a great weekend to just sit on your couch and watch sports all day. You know
Definitely
what?
is.
You probably get Baja Ricks to go if you live down here in downtown. Be posted up all day watching sports.
Let's also not forget the big event, NASCAR at Kansas this week.
Oh, yeah, that was next on my list.
Yep.
NASCAR at
See?
Kansas.
There you go.
All right, we have a couple updates for you. In Chicago, the Cubs have a 1-0 lead on St. Louis. Nico Horner with a solo shot for the Cubs to get them on the board against the Cardinals. If the Padres want to host on Tuesday, they will have to sweep Arizona, and the Cubs would have to lose 2 out of 3 to St. Louis. If the Padres, or should I say, if the Padres go 2-1, that means the Cubs got to get swept. So kind of need some wins for the Cardinals this weekend. They're down 1-0 to Chicago. But there was somebody in the lineup today, Frank, that was telling about whether or not he's going to play against the Padres on Tuesday.
Kyle Tucker is back. He is back in a DH role. He's 0 for 1 so far in the game, but Kyle Tucker going through his game logs here. Peter will be kind to me. Has not played since the beginning of the month. His last game played was the 2nd of September. So Kyle Tucker back in the lineup after effectively an entire month out. That is a pretty big deal for the Cubs to get one of their big players back, kind of in a Xander Bogaerts role. We're coming back off of injury. Give him a couple of games to tune up.
Yeah, we'll see if he's ready to go by Tuesday in terms of his rehab assignment that he's going to do this week. It was weekend against the St. Louis Cardinals, but I would imagine you were expecting him to play in that series. I mean, to avoid Kyle Tucker would have been kind of a blessing if you're the San Diego Padres. All right, a couple of things to watch this weekend. So we talked about the starting pitching for Tuesday. Laureano's injury impact. It obviously forces a little bit of a lineup reshuffle. And this is what AJ Cassaville put together on MLB.com. Versus righties, you could go Gavin Sheets starting in left. You could have Bryce Johnson, late inning defense, but the Padres lose Sheets' lefty bat off the bench now if you start against a right-handed hitter. Against lefties, which is most likely going to happen because the Cubs are going to have Boyd and Imanaga at some point during that 3-game series, you risk 5 lefty bats in the lineup. So you could go Jose Iglesias, who has actually had a hot bat against lefties and a versatile infielder. You could go Johnson in left field. He's a switch hitter, and then Sheets to the bench as a weapon once they go to the bullpen. But the bullpen's got a lot of left-handers for Chicago as well. And then you got to talk about the catching plan. Diaz is expected to catch game 1 for the Padres. He's Pavetta's catcher. Freddie Fermin, probably games 2 and 3. And so what is your prediction about the lineup going into the wild card series against the Cubs? AJ Cassaville says Iglesias stays bench option. Johnson starts in left field versus lefties. How do you think the Padres play it out?
I think you got to put your best foot forward. I'm not looking too hard into lefty-righty matchups right now. I want my best bats in the lineup. They'll either sink or swim. You're hoping they're going to swim. But I would much rather have my biggest bats in the lineup and figure it out from there. If that means Iglesias has to sit on the bench for a couple games, that's fine. I think Bryce Johnson, with the way he's played over the last couple of weeks, has earned a chance to play in the postseason, especially now with Ramon Laureano's injury. I think he's done a serviceable job enough. So I think probably what you're going to see, what you've seen for most of this season, minus Ramon Laureano, is most likely going to be the lineup going into the postseason.
The thing with the I was thinking about this on the round table, Gavin Sheets Johnson situation. I don't mind Gavin Sheets starting lefties. I think he's not incompetent at hitting. I'd rather have the bat in the lineup.
Yeah.
And then this is what spurred this thought in my head. It was when Tony said at least with starting pitch, it's not the problem is not the Cubs starters being lefties. He said the problem is their bullpen being a bunch of lefties, because when you see guys multiple times, you could start figuring out what they're doing and you have a game plan, and eventually enough times going through those starters and seeing them multiple times, you can eventually hit them, right, in a game. He said the problem is the lefties in the bullpen. That's where it gets difficult, because you're not going to see those guys multiple times. Even in a series, you're not going to see them multiple times. They might face 3 guys in the order, and that's it, and then face a different 3 guys in the order the next time through. So for me, what if you think about this? This is why you start Gavin Sheets as the lefty, because he will have a better chance of figuring out a left-handed pitcher that's a starter over a bullpen guy. And so maybe then when you have Gavin Sheets start and maybe Johnson's the bat off the bench as a switch hitter to break up your lane of lefties, because that's the biggest concern, right, for a lot of people in terms of the righty-lefty situation is later on in the order, you have 3 or 4 lefties in a row, right? So if you're the Cubs, you could bring in a lefty bullpen arm and he goes 1, 2, 3, face the 3-batter minimum with a lefty in the order. What if you had Bryce Johnson pinch hit in the middle of there? And at least he's got a righty up there. And now you have Bryce Johnson as a pinch hitter late in the game, which might not seem as good, but that's around the time that you would have him defensively check into a game anyway.
Yeah, I wouldn't mess with the lineup too much. Honestly, like, again, you want your big bats in the lineup, and that would mean Gavin Sheets.
I agree.
That would be your best chance to get as many runs as humanly possible, and that means Gavin Sheets is in the lineup. If that means him playing left field, and for all the reasons that you said, 100% right. He has a better chance of figuring out a starter than he does a reliever. And Bryce Johnson, you have the ability for him to come in when you need him in a spot where he needs to fill in for somebody in a pinch runner role. If you need defense late in the game, you can't do that if he's already in the lineup. you're gonna have to change. You're gonna have to change more things around.
I like Sheets in the lineup against lefty and righties. But the thing is now with the lower end, you don't have a big bat coming off the bench. Do you need a big bat coming off the bench? Really? And if he's a lefty,
no, you don't.
If Gavin, but here's the thing, right? So we talk about the entire situation of not having him start against a left-hander, right? And he'd be the big bat off the bench. But if all the bullpen pieces or most of the bullpen pieces are left-handed pitchers, are you really going to bring him in to be the left-hand to be the bat off the bench? No, you're not.
That means
you're stuck with Bryce Johnson anyway.
You're
coming off the bench.
You're saving him for a time that's not coming.
Correct.
Which is pointless. Then you just put him in the lineup at that point.
I would agree.
May as well.
We'll see how they make the lineups this weekend against Arizona. And again, I think a lot of tonight's lineup is dependent on what happens in Chicago. They just ended the second inning. They're going to the top of the third. It's 1-0 Cubs against the Cardinals. What else is going on? We still got to get to the roster conversation for October for the Padres. We'll talk about that in just a little bit. But we gave you the Cubs update against the Cardinals. Talked about the Ryder Cup. What else is going on in sports? It's time for Frank Marchese to guide us through the sports thread.
You know that group chat? The one that's always blowing up with the biggest sports takes, debates, and breaking news?
You got barbecue back there, and you didn't invite me?
Yeah, we've got that too. Welcome to the Sports Thread, where we break down the top 5 stories in sports, just like you would with your crew.
Oh, no! Disaster! What a bad idea!
No filters, no silence, just real talk.
All right, Frank, what do we got today in the sports world, not Padres related?
Number
Turn your
1.
mic on.
Yeah,
There
we've got no mic. We got no mic because I'm a fool. All right. Earlier this week, the Green Bay Packers pass rusher Micah Parsons said it would be painful to sack Dak Prescott, his good friend and mentor, when they were in Dallas together as teammates. Prescott saying, "I hope it's not painful for me, and I hope he doesn't get to me for one." Parsons returned to face the Cowboys, the team that drafted him in the first round of 2021, then traded him to Green Bay on August 28th after the sides could not agree on a long-term contract extension. Has been the story of the week, but should it be?
Dak versus Micah?
Yes.
No, it shouldn't be. That's such a media take on the game. Dak versus Micah. Is Dak really going against Micah? Micah's got a left tackle in front of him that he's got to deal with, and the offensive line. It should be, you know what the story should be? It should be Micah versus Jerry Jones. That's what the story should be. Every time Micah Parsons makes a play, they got to show Jerry Jones in the box. Every single time. Every time the Cowboys are unable to get Jordan Love on the ground or they get gashed for a 6 to 7 yard run, show Jerry Jones in the box.
There you go.
That's what the conversation needs to be about on Sunday Night Football. I don't want to hear Chris Collinsworth's going to talk about Dak and Micah and all that. No. Show Jarrah. I got to see what Jarrah's saying or what his reactions are every time Micah makes a tackle, makes a sack, and wreaks havoc on a Cowboys team that is going to be 1-3 after this game on Sunday.
All right, so we'll go to college football next. Now the question is, do you want to rant or do you want to just say, like, come on, what are we doing here?
All right.
Which one do you want?
I like to rant.
Okay, so we'll go with number 2 here.
Number 2.
Lincoln Riley.
Oh, my God.
We didn't get a chance to do this yesterday, so I figured we'd do it today.
No.
The college football schedule includes a wide range of times for when teams kick off and are not all favorable to the teams as some are to others. Between day games and night games, some teams feel strongly on when they play or how their schedule flows, especially when the time zone changes and different distance.
English are hard on a Friday.
Thank you. Have to travel. USC coach Lincoln Riley is not thrilled with the kickoff time for his last 2 games being so far apart. Last week, number 21 ranked USC faced Michigan State at 11 p.m. Eastern, with the game being played in Los Angeles. This week, they have to travel to Illinois for a noon Eastern kickoff. Riley said going from the absolute latest kick in the country to the absolute earliest in the country has its challenges, but the challenge, like it is what it is, we don't make the schedule clearly. Does he have a gripe here?
No, he doesn't have a gripe because they decided to blow up the Pac-12 and collect $100 million. That's what you did when you wanted the $100 million. Now, Lincoln Riley might have a gripe because he wasn't one of the guys that wanted to go to the Big Ten, but the school can't complain about it or bitch about it. This is what you did. This is the bed you made. Now you got to sleep in it. I don't want to hear anybody from USC complain about their kickoff times when they got the $100 million check to be in the Big Ten. No, this is the game that you play. You know, it would be nice if you found 11 other schools that are in your region that make it a lot easier for travel and times. You know, I don't know. I can't believe you couldn't find any of those schools.
Exist though.
Yeah.
It's sad that they've never had that opportunity.
It's so crazy. I don't know why. Like, I feel like Arizona would probably love to play SC on a Saturday in conference instead of having to fly to West Virginia.
Yeah, who else?
Or Iowa State.
I'm sure
Arizona State probably.
UCLA might have a pretty decent time.
I would say so. You know, I bet they could probably, Oregon and Washington.
Oregon would not have to fly all the way to Pennsylvania.
You know what's crazy too? Like USC, I'm sure they could have called Stanford and been like, "Hey, I know you guys have to travel to the East Coast all the time for games. Why don't we play in the same conference?" You know what they could call it since it's on the Pacific time zone?
I think UCLA, not UCLA, Cal Berkeley has that same problem.
I think they could. As we've named a lot of schools. And you know what? Oregon State, Washington State, they're not bad.
No, they're. I mean,
you know
they're
what they
not
could
good,
do, Frank?
but...
You know what they could do since they're in the Pacific time zone? I think those 12 schools could come together and make they could call it the Pacific 12. They could call it the Pac-12, and then we wouldn't have any of these problems. Lincoln wouldn't have any of these problems. SC.
I think the name needs some work, but I think we're getting somewhere.
P stands for power, Frank.
There you go. All right.
Power Act 12.
Number three. While the SEC is ready to move on from last week's missed call by the referees in the Auburn-Oklahoma game, the Auburn Go Tigers are not. Auburn's athletic director, John Cohen, on Thursday issued a statement posted on Twitter that the Tigers, quote, remain extremely disappointed and deserve better. The SEC on Saturday said its officiating crew failed to identify a hideout tactic on Oklahoma's second quarter touchdown in the Sooners' 24-17 victory. On the play in question before the snap, receiver Isaiah, I'm not hurting myself, said he had walked towards the Sooners' sidelines, appearing to feign a substitution, but remained on the field before streaking down the sideline undetected for a 24-yard touchdown pass. Be upset about the call. Yes. But we're really going to sit here and let it ruin our season because they missed one phone call?
It's Friday. It's Friday. Move on. I mean, at this point, you got to move on to the next week. The arrogance of SEC schools is just hilarious to me. And their guy, Paul Feinbaum, talking about like, well, if the committee messes this up and doesn't get all these SEC teams in there, there's going to be hell to pay. All right, dude, calm down. The SEC's arrogance is too high.
Paul Feinbaum's credibility is getting less and less as these SEC teams tend to fall and crumble apart.
You know what we like to call Paul Feinbaum on this show?
And windsock.
A windsock. He's a windsock. Moving on.
All right, number 4. WWE star and social media influencer Logan Paul filed an injunction against the Heritage Auction Company in Texas District Court on Thursday, alleging authenticity concerns over a Michael Jordan signed piece of the United Center floor that Paul had won at an auction. Paul says he was not allowed to investigate the floor's authenticity before Heritage solicited payment, which was originally due on September 25th, according to court records. Per records, Paul was told by Heritage that he could lose his rights to the floor if he did not meet the deadline. Paul paid, ready for this one?
No, boy.
$562,555. And don't you dare forget about the 42 cents for this piece of floor signed by Michael Jordan. It's a little ridiculous to not have the authenticity checked out if you're going to drop that much money on a piece of memorabilia.
So he's suing because he wants to get it checked, or he got it checked.
He's suing because he wanted to get it checked before he paid the auction.
The auction. The auction said you can't check if it's authentic or not. You
exactly
just have to pay
right.
us. That's already shady.
At 1,000%.
Yeah. So now he's suing them for it.
As he should.
I agree. If you're going to drop $500,000 plus, on a piece of wood, it better be what it says it is.
I'm not a big fan of Logan Paul. I think he's a dope, but I mean, in that case,
Neither
there's
here nor there,
yeah,
but yeah.
exactly. But that's I'm sorry. If I'm going to drop that much money on something, I want to make sure it's as real as it possibly can be.
Just take our word for it. It's true. Yeah, we're good.
Yeah, we're all cool here.
Yeah, just give us the $500,000.
Yeah,
and
there's nothing.
We'll just say Michael Jordan touched it. Scottie Pippen, just everybody.
Absolutely,
Whoever you want.
Everything is cool here.
Magic made his hook shot on that.
Yeah,
I'm sure he did. Whatever you want. I don't know. Just give us the $500,000. Move on.
Larry Bird had a sick game on that piece of floor as well.
That's right.
I believe we don't have enough time to get to our last story, but our last story was the Tua Tagovailoa issue with my ears. Was the Tua Tagovailoa story going against what Cam Newton had said?
What did Cam Newton say?
Something about something.
We'll talk about it next. We got the NFL whip around in the noon hour. Noon lunchtime hour when we come back. We're live at Baja. Rick's come out and say hi. 176th Avenue. He's Frank Marchese. I'm Braden Surprenant. It's Braden Surprenant Show. Setting us on Sports Station 97 to the Van. Here at Baja Rick's at 176th Avenue, Braden Surprenant Show, live and local each and every day from 10 to 2 on San Diego's number one sports station, 97.3 The Fan. We got Frank Marchese out at his first real live remote, not one at the Western Metal Supply Company building where nobody's there.
However, not far from it.
That's right. Our guy Rod's here.
We're inching a little bit further out every single remote here.
We're just missing Nate. But the problem, Nate had a good time last night at the Rancho Bernardo High School football game, and he ended up getting tweaked.
Nice.
Poor guy's back.
Good
foul
job,
on Nate's back.
buddy.
Foul on Nate's back.
Wonderful.
He did it hugging and picking up his son after a nice game last night. Foul on the back. We got stretched before we start hugging now, Nate.
Well,
We're at that age.
Now with that reasoning, is now foul on the foul? Because we're
it's
hugging
back.
his kid.
I didn't say a foul on Nate. I said a foul on Nate's back.
No, I know that, but still.
No, that's not.
I mean, if he was.
Well, you know what?
If he was going out
son can take care of him.
If he was going down for a 40-yard shot at the end after the game was over, then yeah, foul on his back. But
foul on
his
back.
Kid.
Foul on his back. Rod wants to know if we got a permit for the show.
He draws the foul.
No.
It's a good one though.
Sorry, not here.
No permit.
No permits.
No permits here. No permits here.
We're just hoping that Rick doesn't show up. That's really it.
He already did though. You already introduced yourself to Baja Rick.
Way to let that die.
Yeah, Baja Rick's here. Come say hi to Baja Rick himself.
Yeah.
It's a great time here, 176th Avenue. I parked across the street at the Hard Rock, walked across the street, got here early. Big thanks to our promo team today, Nathan, Cher, Presley. We are going to be giving away a Xander Bogaerts bobblehead at the end of the noon hour. We're going to be giving away a Manny Machado signed baseball in the 1 o'clock hour. We got T-shirts to give away. 97 through the fan shirts, but also we have Braden Surprenant Show shirts too. Anybody that wants one of those, we have those to give away. Also, Rod's repping today. He's got the shirt. Rod needs to stay and make sure Gwen and Chris knows the shirt he's wearing. That's right, exactly. I don't see the Gwen and Chris Show shirts. I want a Gwen and Chris Show shirt. Do they have shirts?
I don't think so.
I need one. But we have those to give away too. They got specials all day long. It's Baja Rick's game day specials. So good time here. Down at Baja Rick's, talking a lot of Padres baseball with you. We're also talking some NFL here coming up with the NFL Whip Around. But first, let's get you an update on what's going on in Chicago. Cubs have a 1-0 lead on the Cardinals. They are now into the top of the fourth inning. Colin Ray, 3 1/3 innings, no runs, only 1 hit against St. Louis. That is the only game going on in baseball right now. The only game that really matters, the only series that really matters to the Padres that is not their own series against Arizona. We'll talk more about that. Plus, the question of who is making the October roster and where the roster decisions might be made. Because we talked about the starters for the wild card series. To me, the odd man out in the starters shouldn't even be on the roster, because why use him as a roster spot when you can add another bullpen piece or another bench piece or whatever you want to do? We'll discuss that in just a little bit too. But it's time to get to our NFL Whip Around.
I would believe it is.
Aha, there it is, the NFL music. Rod just got excited. Let's talk some NFL football with you on a Friday. Had a game last night. Seattle outdoes Arizona. San Diego product. Jason Myers at a modern-day Catholic high school with the game-winning field goal for Seattle. Seattle had a lead in this game, a big lead. Arizona came all the way back. They scored with 28 seconds left, and then Arizona's kicker did not kick it to the landing zone or whatever BS that the NFL put together for their kickoffs. As a special teams coach, I think kickoffs in the NFL suck. But that led to a penalty, which gave Seattle a better opportunity. They lined it up for a game-winning field goal, and they hit it. My question to you, what in the world were the Arizona Cardinals wearing last night?
As my mother would say, costumes.
Costumes. Not yellow pants. They were cream pants, Frank.
Yes, they were. But
the spreckled, they look like a Halloween costume with the spreckled paint on there.
They're not uniforms. They're costumes.
Rivalry series uniforms is basically what it was said.
That's cool.
Isn't that great? Isn't that great? That's from last night. Let's talk about what's going on this week. Take it away.
2-1 Minnesota Vikings taking on the 2-1 Pittsburgh Steelers in Pittsburgh. Vikings are favored by 2.5 on the road here for this game. So not really believing in Aaron Rodgers and the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Game's in Dublin.
That's
Ireland.
right. Yeah, that is. It's a 6:30 game.
Minnesota's favored by 2.5. Who do you like?
I'm taking the Vikings.
I like the Vikings. I'll take the Vikings in that game, too. I think the Vikings cover the 2.5. I'll take Minnesota over the Steelers. Did you see the San Diego connection this week?
Yeah, I didn't see any connections. We're off stream right now.
We're off the YouTube. Yeah, I'm back up and running.
Okay,
I think.
I will get back in there.
Come on,
I did not
Frank.
see the. I'm sorry. I'm
Come on,
reading my screen here, sir.
Now turn your mic off for you. All right, there we go. We're back. Did you see the San Diego connection in the press conference this week?
I did not know.
Aaron Rodgers talking about Kevin O'Connell, the head coach in Minnesota. They asked him about him. He was like, "Yeah, we used to work out together over at Fitness Quest 10."
Oh, yes, I did
in
see that.
San Diego, in North County, San Diego. How about that?
There you go.
A little love for FQ10 in a national press conference. I like the Vikings over the Steelers. Bold prediction: Vikings linebacker Andrew Van Ginkel will record a pick 6. I'll sell it.
Yeah, no,
Why
I'll
is
sell that as well.
The reasoning: how could I not pick this? Van Ginkel is the king of jumping horizontal passes and taking them to the house, and no one loves a screen pass more than the Steelers' offensive coordinator Arthur Smith. That's from Walder on ESPN.
That's cool.
That's cool. I'm not buying it. All right, on to the next one. My turn to ask you. Washington, Atlanta. Atlanta's getting 1.5 points against the Commanders. Be careful. Adam is working with us today. You like the Commanders minus 1.5, or do you like Atlanta at home?
I think Washington is the better team. I'm going to go with the Commanders.
I'll take the Commanders minus 1.5 as well. Buy or sell. Michael Penix Jr. Falcons QB will average less than 6 air yards per pass.
I'm going to sell that. I think he's going to go over. I think he'll go
air
over
yards
there.
per pass.
No, I know. Yeah.
He's going to throw it.
He's going to throw it more than 6 yards.
I don't think
per
he's
pass,
doing
yeah.
a bunch of checkdowns.
No.
I agree.
I don't think so either.
I will sell that. Next game.
The 0-3 New Orleans Saints taking on the 3-0 Buffalo Bills. This game will be in upstate New York. 15.5 point
That's
spread.
insane.
I think you know who I'm taking on this.
I'll take New Orleans to cover 15.5.
Absolutely.
I'll take Buffalo in a survivor pick, though. New Orleans is awful.
Yeah.
They're so bad.
Saints linebacker Demario Davis will lead the NFL in combined tackles this week. Sorry.
Well, he's going to be busy.
Yeah.
Going against the Bills' offense
he's
to buy the
gotta be.
ball, Tom. Sure, I'll buy it.
Yeah, I'll buy that as well.
Chargers, Giants. Wow. My former favorite team against your favorite team. Giants are getting 6 in the hook. You taking that, Scatabo?
You know what? I will take it. They're not
Giants
winning this
plus
game.
6.5.
They're not winning this game,
Is it
but
in
I
New
will
York?
take it. It is in New York.
And
It
Eli
is in
Manning's
MetLife.
not playing, so maybe the Giants have a chance against the Chargers.
Well,
Eli Manning never beat him.
anything can happen.
I'll take the Giants plus 6.5. Chargers have looked good, but this is a game where the Chargers are feeling themselves, and then you get a game where they lose to the Giants on the road, and you go, "What happened?"
Jackson Dart makes his debut this week, too. For the New
I'm
York
definitely
Football
taking
Giants.
the Giants then. I'm taking the Giants plus 6.5.
There you go.
Buy or sell. Quarterback Dante Jackson will record an interception against the rookie Jackson Dart.
Dart's going to do something stupid.
I'll buy
Just
it.
try it. Yeah, I'll buy it. Next up, Clay and South Bay. Tune it up.
His beloved Browns.
Yep, the 1-2 Cleveland Browns taking on the 2-1 Detroit Lions. The Lions, after having a bad opening game, have really been good as of late. They are 9.5 point favorites against the Brownies at Ford Field.
Does the transitive property work in this particular case? The Packers obliterated the Lions and then lost to the Browns. Doesn't that mean the Browns are supposed to kill the Lions? No, that's not how the transitive property works. I think Detroit wins, but I don't think they cover 9.5. I'll take the Browns plus 9.5, and then the buy or sell.
Buy or sell would be the Browns will hold Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery to under 4 yards per carry.
I'll buy that because they did it with Derrick Henry.
Yep.
We heard
They're
Clay in the South Bay.
Very good rush defense.
Browns owned Derrick Henry. They did. I think they can handle the two-headed monster for Detroit. I think that's why that game's going to be closer than people think.
Yeah.
Carolina, New England. New England's favored by 5 in the hook.
I'll take the Pats on that.
I'll take the Patriots, too. I think they're starting to finally put things together. As long as Ramondre Stevenson doesn't run the rock inside the 10-yard line because he fumbles, He's got, as Eddie Brown said, he's got fumbleitis. I like Drake May and the Patriots at home. Carolina, even though they got a win last week, I don't think they're not very good. Buy or sell. Speaking of Drake May, he'll throw for over 300 yards against Carolina.
That would be a career first for him. I would say if he's going to do it, it'll be against a team like Carolina.
Be against either Carolina or New Orleans. I can tell you that right now. I'll definitely buy that next game.
Somebody is going to get a loss. Will it be the 3-0 Philadelphia Eagles taking on the 3-0 Tampa Bay Buccaneers? Eagles favored by 3.5 on the road in Tampa Bay.
The Rams choked that one away last week, didn't they?
Yes, they did.
2 field goal blocks. Rams looked like they outclassed Philly, and then Philly just came all the way back. I think Philly's playing with some luck right now. I don't like that game in percent. Tampa Bay plus 3.5. I think that one's going to be close. I'll take the Bucs plus 3.5 at home against the defending Super Bowl champion Eagles. Take that, Mike Crum.
I'm going to take the Bucs as well. It's kind of the same thing that we saw with the Chiefs last year. The Chiefs last year got a lot of luck. That gave them the record that they had. They weren't necessarily playing good football. Same thing here with the Philadelphia Eagles. They are not playing good football right now. They're getting luck. So I am going to go with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Buy or sell, Philadelphia will record a positive passer rate over expectation. God, I hate
Sure,
nerds.
Sounds good.
I hate
thanks, Next
nerds
Gen Stats.
so much.
Nobody cares. Titans and Texans, 2 0-3 teams. Someone's going to get their first win down in Houston. Texans favored by 7.5. God, CJ Stroud has not looked good after his rookie season.
Yeah, it's been a rough return for CJ Stroud. I'm taking the Houston Texans though. 7.5.
You think they covered the 7.5 against Cam Ward? Cam Ward's starting to do a little bit better.
I think they will cover.
I will take. Man, they haven't looked bad though. I'll take the Titans because it's a division game plus 7.5. I think Houston wins. Calvin Ridley will have an 80-plus yard game.
I can see that happening.
I'll buy that as well. Before we get to the next one, update for you. Cubs now have a 3-0 lead on St. Louis. Pete Crow Armstrong with a 2-run shot.
It's looking more and more meaningless here this weekend.
Looking more and more like you should just put whoever out there in the lineup. But we'll see. I mean, you never know what the Cardinals got in store. Miles Michaelis not helping the Padres out too much. On to the next one.
The 3-0 Indianapolis Colts taking on the 2-1 Los Angeles Rams. Rams favored by 3.5 at home.
I'll take the Rams. I think the Rams are upset from last week. The Rams are better than what they showed against the Eagles. The Rams are at home. I think the Indianapolis Colts have been playing with fool's gold in their first 3 games. They looked decent against the Broncos, right? They got a call that helped them out in that game. They did what good teams do. They went down to Tennessee and beat up the Titans, but this is, to me, their first true test of the year. And we'll see if Daniel Jones, continues his success to the start of the season. He's going to go against a lot better of a Rams defense than he's gone against in the past couple of weeks. I'll take the Rams minus 3.5.
We're kind of in a position to where the buy or sell also kind of goes with who you're picking, because the buy or sell is the Colts running back Jonathan Taylor will have 20-plus rush attempts in a loss. So if you're thinking the Rams are going to win that game, you're going to buy that.
Well, maybe.
Well, with the rushing attempts.
If you think the Rams are going to destroy Indianapolis, they're not giving the ball to Jonathan Taylor. They're going to be throwing it all over the place. I will buy that, though.
I'm going to take the Colts in this game. I'm going to take the Colts. I'm going to believe a little bit in the Indianapolis Colts. I think they're going to win it outright. I think the LA is going to be reeling still a little bit from that loss.
So you're selling the.
Yeah, I'm going to sell the.
Do you think Jonathan Taylor gets 20-plus attempts anyway?
Probably.
Okay. You half buy it then. Did I do that one or did you do that one?
I did that one.
Jacksonville Jaguars at the San Francisco 49ers. 49ers favored by 3.5.
I'll take San Fran. I'm still not
Is Brock Purdy back?
I believe he might be, but I'm not ready to believe in Jacksonville just yet. And even when Jacksonville had those good teams, it was only for a year or two before they fell right back off into obscurity.
I think despite the injuries, I'll take the Niners too.
Yeah, I agree.
Buy or sell, Niners defense will not sack Trevor Lawrence.
I'm going to sell that.
I'm selling that.
Now
my guy D. Winters playing linebacker for the Niners.
Yeah.
Or Mission Hill's product, Fred Warner.
We've got 2 underperforming teams that were expected to be in the playoffs comfortably. The 1-2 Baltimore Ravens taking on the 1-2 Kansas City Chiefs. Baltimore on the road, favored by 2.5. When was the last time you saw Kansas City a home dog?
Probably before they had Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
Or Patrick Mahomes' rookie
It's been
year.
a long time.
I'll take Baltimore. Baltimore has looked a lot better than Kansas City, and I know they lost, this week or last week. I like Baltimore more than I like Kansas City. I mean, Baltimore had the lead against Buffalo, and that's a tough one to swallow if you're a Ravens fan. And then they lost at home. Was that Monday Night Football?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the Ravens over Kansas City. Kansas City has not looked good at all.
Buy or sell, the Ravens will win by double digits.
That's a bold prediction.
That's the bold prediction.
I'll buy that. Baltimore goes in there and kicks Kansas City's ass? Sure, sounds good.
I'm going to sell it.
Kansas City's going to go 1. I think Kansas City's going to go 1-3 to start the first 4 games.
I believe they're going to lose. I don't think they're going to lose by double digits, though.
Bears and Raiders in Las Vegas. Raiders by a game and a half. Or by a point and a half, sorry.
I'm going to take the Bears, honestly. I think the Bears
don't
have
buy
shown...
into the love. Don't
no, I'm
because
not
they played the Cowboys doesn't
no,
mean
No. I'm not buying into that. I'm saying that the Bears they've looked better than the Raiders have this year, even though they don't have the results. I'm going to go with Chicago. That defense is really, really good.
It is autumn now.
It is.
The autumn wind is a Raider. Now the time for the
That's
Raiders.
cool.
Yeah, I got the Raiders minus 1.5.
Unfortunately, they play in a desert where autumn doesn't necessarily exist.
Doesn't matter. Autumn wind's still a Raider. That's what they said back in the day. Raiders, Brock Bowers will have 90 yards in the game, 90 plus. I'll buy it. If they win, Brock Bowers has a day.
No, I'm going to sell that. Sunday Night Football, Green Bay Packers taking on the Dallas Cowboys, 6.5-point dogs at Jerry World.
That's probably even more,
Cowboys.
too. Remember, the Cowboys fans always bet the Cowboys by 3 points. So that's really like a 9.5-point spread. I'll take Green Bay. There's no way the Cowboys even come close to competing in that game.
I will take Green Bay as well. Packers wide receiver Romeo Doubs and Matthew Golden will each have 65-yard games minimum.
Yes, buy it.
Yep, I will buy that as well.
The defense for Dallas is terrible.
Yep.
They're like paper mache.
Yeah.
The Packers are going to be going up and down that field all night long, and they're going to show disappointed video of Jerry Jones watching Micah Parsons dominate in that game.
Really quick, because we got to get to break here. Jets, Dolphins. Dolphins favored by 2.5. Tyreek Hill will have 7 receptions.
I'll take the Jets. I will buy that Tyreek Hill will have 7+ receptions.
Cincinnati Bengals, Denver Broncos, the second half of the Monday night doubleheader. Broncos, favored by 7.5. Chase Brown will rush for 75 yards and a touchdown.
I'll take the Broncos. Hopefully Brett Rippon plays in that game for Cincinnati. But
there you go.
I'll sell the I'll buy the Chase Brown. They're going to rely on him. That's a look at the whip around on a Friday. We have updates for you on the Ryder Cup. We got updates for you in Cubs and Cardinals. And we will talk more about the situation with the Padres in terms of their October roster when we come back. He's Frank Marchese. I'm Braden Surprenant. This is the Braden Surprenant Show, live and local each and every day from 10 to 2. We're here at 176th Avenue at Baja Rick's. We got a lot of things to give away. Come on down, say hi, hang out with us as we lead you to Gwynn and Chris. And Gwynn and Chris coming up here live at 2 o'clock on 97 through the Fan, San Diego's #1 sports station. This new lunchtime hour is brought to you by the Craft Taco, both flavors in Sorrento Valley and Balboa Park's Natural History Museum, open late on Fridays for Nat at Night. I got a beetle here. Where the tacos at? It's my new favorite.
I'm waiting for the tacos. Where the damn tacos at?
There you go. There's Jeremiah. That's my favorite new drop. I love that. Where the tacos at? There's tacos here at Baja Rick's. We're here at 176th Avenue for our live broadcast. Alongside Frank Marchese, I'm Braden Surprenant. A lot of people are enjoying their meals here at Baja Rick's. Crowd's starting to build a little bit, getting ready for Padres baseball. At 6:40, Ecowater SoCal Padres pregame show with Sam Levit at 5:40. Gwen and Chris will be on after us at 2 o'clock. At the end of this hour, we'll be giving away a Xander Bogaerts bobblehead. And in the 1 o'clock hour, we'll be giving away, near the end of the 1 o'clock hour, we'll be giving away the Manny Machado signed baseball. As Rod says, must be present to win. Can't put your name on the paper and then bail and then expect us to ship it to you. You got to be here, got to spend time here if you want to win the signed baseball. We got T-shirts to give away. We also have some Braden Surprenant Show shirts. If you come down, you want one. I got larges, I got double X's, and that's it. That's all I got left. I had Nathan on our promo team. He's wearing a 2X right now. He's repping. Cher's got a medium. She didn't put it on, but she'll wear it later. And if you want to win some of these things, go talk to Nathan. Go talk to Cher. Go talk to Presley, our promo team. They'll get you signed up and eligible to win some of our raffle prizes, which is going to be fun. We do want to get your phone. Is Derek and LeMesa still on hold? Is he still here? Let's get to Derek and LeMesa. I want to hear what Derek has to say. We got a big game tomorrow between Derek and Frank. We got Penn State, Oregon, and I know Derek wants to weigh in on baseball too. Derek, what's going on?
Hey, brothers. How are you guys doing today?
We're doing well. We're having a good time. We're waiting for Derek to show up at Baja Rick's. Where you at, man?
Brother, something came up, man. I was going to come down there, but I got to tell you, man, Frank, this is my last call before I come collect my B-Serp shirt next week wearing my Duck gear. But, Braden, with all the talk of fandom that you did yesterday and all the fouls, like Frank Marchese committed maybe a double or triple foul, and I want to hear it. This is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about in fandom. There is no way, whether you're betting money or whether you're just picking games, you are not allowed to pick your opposition against your team. There is no way, because here's the deal. Frankie set himself up for this. He's in a no-lose situation. He picks the Ducks, right? So if the Ducks win, he gets to say, I told you so, and he's a winner. If Penn State wins, he gets to go, well, you know, James Franklin finally won a big game, and I'm still a winner. Dude, that's a double, maybe triple foul right there, Frank. That's embarrassing.
Double foul on Frank.
That wasn't
there it is.
The one time he's on point with the foul calls.
Yeah, Adam's on it when it comes to a foul on Frank. That's for sure. I'm sure Adam wants to give you a foul for being a Mets fan and all this other stuff too. But you know what's a decent point? Derek, we like to call that, Derek, the emotional hedge bet.
No, it wasn't.
It's the emotional hedge bet.
It
You
has
bet the other.
nothing
How
to
much?
do.
How much are you willing to spend for your team to win? Basically, is where you're at right there. It's a winner. So he says fouls on the emotional hedge bet.
It had absolutely nothing to do with hedging my bet for a win. It's I want to win this competition, and I'm not afraid to bet against my teams. You look at the past. You look at what Penn State has done in big games, meaningful games, important games, whether it be in the regular season or in the playoff. They don't win those games. They don't. So I'm going for the win here. I want to show bragging rights. I'll vote. Yeah. I'll pick against Penn State. It's funny how both Skylar
emotional hedge bet.
I had to pick my team's game. Skylar had to pick hers. Where's the TCU Arizona State pick? Where was that this week?
It's a Friday game.
Where was that this week?
I didn't pick that game.
We've done Friday games. We've done Friday games on this already.
It's a Friday game.
Where's the pick? Where's the TCU pick?
Don't try to push it on me. You're the one with the emotional hedge bet.
No. We both have to pick our games. Where's the TCU Arizona State?
You know what? If Arizona State was ranked, we'd pick the game. You have two ranked. You have. Not my fault. Alabama and Georgia are both ranked. Not my fault that Penn State and Oregon are both ranked. You know what? Those were all better games than the Arizona State TCU tonight.
Where's Arkansas ranked?
Who are they playing again?
They're playing Notre Dame.
You know what? That's a good game because Notre Dame, I think, can lose that game.
Okay. All right. Where's Colorado ranked?
Colorado BYU is the late night game. It's good.
You
had to mix it up, dude. You couldn't just have all Big 12 and SEC and Big 10 games. You had to mix it up.
Where's Arizona ranked?
The Wildcats are about to be ranked when they beat Iowa State on Saturday.
Okay.
That's also another good game. These are all great games.
Yeah, you're making it.
Here's the other thing, too.
You're making it sound like you're making it sound like we're only allowed to pick ranked versus ranked games.
We picked the skillet last week.
Good
did
for
we
you.
not? We picked the skillet last week.
We did, yeah.
And today, I don't even get to watch my team play.
Well, that's your fault.
So we don't get to pick the games that I don't get to watch.
That's your fault for being a high school coach.
Yeah, well, you know what? Putting the kids first, putting the youth first. You're the one doing the emotional hedge, man. I don't know why this is pushing back on me. These are your problems. These are not my problems.
You're such a schmuck.
I'm taking TCU tonight. I mean, obviously. I'm not going against my team.
Obviously.
Yeah. I didn't need you guys to pick against the Frogs either. That would have been rough. That would have been a foul.
Did we or did we not pick TCU? We did
last week.
Yeah, there you go.
Who are you picking? Arizona State or TCU?
What's the line?
I think we're.
You're supposed to know this by heart. You're a team. I
don't even know any of the betting of my sports teams. Absolutely not. You want to know why? Because I have listeners that DM me and go, "I picked the Frogs on my bet," and I go, "Great, it's not my fault if they lose."
There you go.
Because that's always the follow deal. I picked the Frogs this week. They better not lose. And my response is, you pick them at your own risk, not mine. I never bet on my team or against my team. I want nothing to do with it. TCU is getting 3 in the hook tonight. I'll definitely take
3-point dogs.
3.5.
3.5 point dogs.
I'll take the Frogs plus 3.5 tonight. That's a trap game at Arizona State. It's a Friday night in conference against a team that's already lost one game, against a team that was in the playoff last year.
I'll take Arizona State just because you made us pick all of our games, our favorite teams, and then you don't. So there you go.
Well, when TCU wins, give me an extra win. I'll have 11 this week, and then you can take the L. Well, you just said you picked against them.
Yeah, I'm picking against them out of spite. I'm not picking against them because I think they're going to lose.
We don't pick Friday night games unless it's the Aztecs.
We don't pick Friday night games.
What do we got next week? We're not picking TCU Colorado. That's not a great game.
We're picking Colorado this week.
Yeah, but they're playing BYU. It's a good mountain matchup up there. I got at the Holiday Bowl meeting the guy wearing a Shedeur Sanders jersey.
What is it? The TCU is not going to be ranked high enough to pick against Colorado.
Is that
what it's going to be next week?
It's not a good game. TCU Kansas State also not a good game. Shout out Ron Mesa. Week 8, Baylor TCU. I'll be going to that game. We can pick that game that week.
Okay.
I will be there.
All right, fantastic. Okay, so now
it's not my fault that Alabama is ranked really high and plays a lot of ranked teams.
So we're not. So the rules are now.
If Alabama's playing an FCS team, guess who's not on the list?
So the rules are now. We're not able to pick TCU unless you can physically watch the game. We're not allowed to pick TCU unless it's a Friday night, and now unless it's a ranked opponent of a game that you're going to.
It's got to be a good game. You don't see me putting UMass, Missouri on the games that we pick.
Why not? That'd be fun.
Really? Missouri's favored by 44.5 against the Minutemen.
We had a 35.5 point spread last week, did we not?
Yeah, last week the slate wasn't as good. This is like the best college football slate on a Saturday. Why we stood at attention for Nicky P. Even Rod did that wherever he was. That was great.
I'm just saying, man.
There he is.
He's back again.
Pour one out for Nicky P. He's got to go to a wedding this weekend. That's terrible. Stop fall Saturday weddings. Stop them.
Winter weddings.
Yes, you can only get married in the winter.
Only winter.
Everybody needs to just get married in February. There's nothing going on.
Winter and early spring. That's it.
If you want to have a wedding in Arizona during spring training, sure, go ahead. A fall Saturday? Are you kidding? Right, you got playoff level baseball this weekend. You have the Ryder Cup this weekend. You have arguably the best slate in college football this weekend across the board with games from 9 in the morning all the way to 7 o'clock at night when BYU and Colorado kick off. You got a great NFL Sunday slate. There's no reason to get married this weekend. Absolutely zero. Think about the contingent of the people. You know what? If you get married this weekend and people aren't showing up or on their phones, that's on you. I mean, you got to check the schedule.
That's why I say winter weddings.
Yeah, winter weddings are fine.
Because, well, first of all, I think of who's going to be there.
If you get married the weekend of December 20th, that's also a foul. It's a college football playoff weekend.
Guys, also, guys don't want to go to weddings unless it's their own.
True.
And in some cases, even then.
By the way.
So, and guys are also forced to wear a suit, which for the most part, they don't want to wear. So why are you going to make us stand there in the blistering heat, wearing something we don't want to wear at somewhere we don't want to be? Be kind to your guy friends that are going to be going to this wedding. Be nice to every guy going to the wedding because they don't want to be there. At least make sure they are comfortable. Have the winter in the wedding. Have the wedding in the winter.
We got Jake Waters here. He's one of our big fans. He does stuff for college football, Reddit. And one of my roommates in college, big college football Reddit guy, would bitch moan and complain about fall Saturday weddings. Guy got married. Guess when he got married? In the middle of a TCU game, by the way.
What a jerk.
On a fall Saturday.
What a jerk.
A game that I had tickets to out in Fort Worth, and they decided that the wedding was at the exact same time as kickoff between TCU West Virginia. And I said, of all people, out of all of you, out of everybody I know, you were the one that was going to not do the fall Saturday wedding because you were the one that told me about how bad they are. Because I was ill-informed until I got to college, until I met my friend Chet, and then he went down. R.I.P. Chet on the fallen soldier of the fall Saturday wedding. Nikki P says, thank you, Rod, for standing at attention. All right, we're going to get back on track when we come back. I do want to talk about Aztec football. When we come back, we also want to dive into some high school football. How about them Aztecs? They got Northern Illinois. Did we pick that game?
No, we did not.
We didn't pick that game. That's how good of a slate it was. We didn't even pick the Aztec game. We'll talk about San Diego State football when we come back. Everybody's enjoying the noon lunchtime hour here at Baja Rick's as we continue to Gwynn and Chris on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. Today's live broadcast at Baja Ricks is brought to you by Santo Tequila, 100% Blue Weber Agave. I'm Braden Surprenant. He's Frank Marchese, the Braden Surprenant Show, live at Baja Ricks here at 176th Avenue. Having a good time down here with everybody enjoying their lunch. Rod's here having a good time. Friend Jake in the chat having a good time. We're going to be here until 2 o'clock, and then Gwen and Chris will take over at 2. Matt Scraby and Chris Ella will be here live at Baja Ricks. We got a lot of stuff to give away that we're going to give away in the next hour. Xander Bogaerts bobblehead, Manny Machado baseball signed, and as we got some T-shirts here from 97 through the Fan, and I got a couple of I got 2 T-shirts left for the Braden Surprenant Show. 2 large T-shirts left that we will give away here in the next hour or so. I do want to mention that this broadcast in this hour is brought to you by your local Kia dealers. Visit kia.com to discover movement that inspires. And our baseball coverage on 97 through the Fan is presented by T-Mobile. Head at T-Mobile.com and get a great deal on an iPhone 16 Pro. We will be talking more baseball in a little bit, but we do want to talk a little bit more about San Diego State football and then dive into some high school. We got some high school football we got to talk about today here in the last 15 minutes of this hour. Sam Levit will be joining us, I think, live here at Baja Ricks at 1 o'clock. Drake Hills will be down here for the final 2 segments of the show as well. We're going to talk soccer with him at the end of the show, but we also will dive into some Padres baseball and some college football in the next hour also. And as mentioned before, if you want to win the Xander Bogaerts bobblehead or the Manny Machado signed baseball, you have to sign up with Nathan and Cher and Presley, our promo team here at Baja Ricks. Fill out a little card. It'll get added to the hopper, and that's how you will get an opportunity to win some of our prizes today here at Baja Ricks. They got a lot of specials today. Blue Moon drafts are $7. Pacifico drafts are $7. Got the deals on the Santo Tequila. Blanco shots are $8. Reposado shots are $10. You can also get a Coors Light, 32 ounces on draft for $10 as well. Bacon cheeseburger quesadilla, $14 on special today. TJ Dog for $10. Buffalo chicken fries, $14. As we like to say with Rod all the time. Anybody mind if Rod has a day? I know he's going to be devouring some food here in just a little bit, and so will we near the end of the show. Aztecs football tomorrow, Frank. How about them Aztecs? It's a big win against Cal last week. They got to try to Aztecs. How about them Aztecs? Thank you, Sean. Let's get to what they got against Northern Illinois coming up on Saturday.
Yeah, this is going to be, well, if San Diego State wasn't moving, this would be a divisional matchup or a conference matchup next year.
This is you got to take care of the little conference, the Mountain West, new Mountain West team as you move to the Pac-12, Power Act 12.
Exactly. Northern Illinois, again, will be moving from the MAC to the Mountain West next season. They are 1-2 on the year currently. This game will be at 12:30 on ESPN+. Jaden Denegal having a very good, having a decent year so far. 43 for 73, 529 yards, 3 touchdowns. He's got 1 touchdown on the ground as well, going up against Josh Holst for Northern Illinois, 40 for 63, 327 yards, 1 touchdown. He has thrown 2 picks. He also has a ground game that he can really go to, 21 carries for 32 yards. Lucky Sutton, 3 touchdowns and 249 yards on 50 carries this year. Jordan Napier having his first career 100 receiving yard game last week against Cal, leading receiver for the Aztecs. One thing also, through 3 games this season, San Diego State has not turned the ball over yet. So ball security has been a big emphasis for San Diego State this year, and it continues to be that as they go on into week number 5 of the season.
They got to be able to build off of the win against Cal. Beating Cal is great at home, but being able to build off of that and really take some of the pressure off the staff and the team as they try to build here at San Diego State with their new regime under Sean Lewis. Give the luck. I agree with Go Aztecs on the chat. Give Lucky the ball. Keep feeding Lucky Sutton the football. I've seen it firsthand for a long period of time. Keep giving Lucky Sutton the ball, but not just Lucky. Christian Washington's done a great job for San Diego State. Byron Caldwell's done a great job. The three-headed monster back there, all local products out of Cathedral, St. Augustine, and Helix, doing some damage for the Aztecs in the ground game. And the defense has done well, too, throughout the entire season. Hopefully they can do that against Northern Illinois. But you have to be able to build off of that win against Cal. And then you look at it, you're maybe 3-1 on the season. You're getting close to starting. You'll be ready to start conference play. And on top of that, it builds the momentum of flipping the season. Then you can look back at that Washington State loss and be like, that was a bad loss for us. First game on the road. Let's flush it and move on to Mountain West Conference play, which they will be setting up for against Colorado State on a Friday coming up in just a little bit. It is Friday, and we like to talk high school football on Fridays, Frank. We got a lot of big games going on this weekend in high school football on a high school football Friday. Another huge Friday night across San Diego. 10 games that were spotlighted in the John Matthew article today, starting with the heavyweight battle, Granite Hills and Cathedral. I will be at that game, obviously. It's a big game. Really? Yes, big game, number 6 in the county versus number 2 in the county. 7 o'clock at Cathedral Catholic High School. It is homecoming for the Dons. They did a great job. They have a homecoming tailgate, Frank. They sold out 400 alumni doing at the tailgate for Cathedral Catholic and Granite.
Good on them.
So should be a fun contest. Should be a packed house tonight at Cathedral Catholic High School. So if you're planning on going to that game, you should probably try to get there as early as possible.
I would say so.
For parking reasons. Heavyweight battle. Granite Hills 3-2 after losses to Mission Hills and Los Al. Junior quarterback Zach Benitez has been sensational. 1,582 yards and 15 touchdowns, spreading it around. Noah Walker, Tristan Diaz, Rocket DeMary, and DJ Wilkins, as well as Don Smith, have all done a great job for Granite. Running back Davion Williams adds balance for Cathedral. They're 4-0. They're rolling behind Cal commit Brady Palmer. He has 885 passing yards, 253 yards on the ground for the quarterback, and 12 total touchdowns. Honor Falave Johnson and Willie Flores power the run game. I'm telling you right now, if you haven't watched Honor Falave Johnson play, go out and watch him play. He hit 22 miles an hour on an 80-yard touchdown run. Do you understand how incredibly fast that is?
Very. And
we've seen some. I've seen the highlights. Obviously, I've seen him in person. But if you go look at his highlights when he runs the ball and he hits top speed, it's incredible. So definitely go out and be able to watch him at least one time. Isaac Cook and Parker Johnson lead the receiving corps. Linebacker Kevin Clark has done a good job defensively. He's been pressing action. He's got 37 tackles for the Dons, but it should be a fun one. Coastal Clash, La Jolla at Point Loma tonight. La Jolla's Hudson Smith threw for 386 last week. That's a lot. Carson Deal and Nicholas Bardaro is top targets. Point Loma hasn't lost, outscoring teams 130-34 with quarterback Henry Hauser, wideout Romeo Carter. 7 touchdowns already in defensive star Braden Bartocci with 9 sacks. That should be a fun one between La Jolla and Point Loma. You got the next one, Scripps Ranch and Ramona?
Scripps Ranch and Ramona. I do not see that.
It's right after the La Jolla Point Loma one.
Yeah, I know. I got that, but I don't
go.
see in the thing where it is because I haven't been paying attention because you usually do this spot.
I want to get you involved, Frank. We got a couple minutes left.
See, you don't have to do that. All right. Scripps Ranch, it's Ramona 2-3 versus the Falcons at 3-2. Ramona has lost to top 10 teams in Poway and in Mission Hills. Scripps Ranch bounced back from those same battles with wins over Mira Mesa last week.
They beat Mira Mesa last week 50-0, which is pretty impressive. They won they have like an I-15 trophy, so they won the rivalry game. I like Scripps Ranch in this one. Santana at Fallbrook. You saw Santana play in person.
I did see Santana play in person.
Quarterback Ethan Miller has 709 yards and 8 touchdowns, finding Denton Gore and Colton Thornton. For Fallbrook, quarterback Harrison Jones has 711 yards through the air. Jose Hernandez Dillon has rushed for 341. And Teague Lucy leads receivers with 346 yards. Santana at Fallbrook. I like the Sultans in that one. Next game up, Frank.
I wonder who that won in the 3-1 for Santana.
That'd be the
is.
Olympian Eagles.
You better believe it
5-0 Olympian Eagles, baby.
Canyon Hills at 2-2, taking on Rancho Buena Vista at 2-3. Canyon Hills has been low-scoring games this year, leaning on the quarterback Josiah Singh and running back Mackay Fields Cook, who has thrown for 585 yards and 7 touchdowns. RBV's sophomore quarterback Van Piercy has thrown for 560 yards with Sean Marion Richard and Kaipo Gutierrez, leading the attack.
I love the names you're going to have to pronounce in the high. At least with the pros, you have pronunciation guides. For the high school kids, it's so hard. Mirror Mesa's at Grossmont. Mirror Mesa coming off their first loss of the year. Grossmont also 3-1. Opened up strong, the Marauders did, behind quarterback Nico Gusti, while Grossmont's quarterback Tyler Holmes helped them rebound last week against Otay Ranch. I like the Foothillers out in East County this week. Here's another ranked opponent, Mount Miguel, going against Oceanside.
Yep. Mount Miguel 4-1, going against 1-3 Oceanside. Mount Miguel has quality wins over San Marcos, Loyola, Torrey Pines, and Poway. Oceanside has faced a gauntlet, but comes in fresh off of a 41-14 rout of Helix. Sophomore quarterback Anthony Barcanero has over 1,000 yards passing with catching 5 touchdown passes.
Kyman Noah catching 5 touchdown passes. Otay Ranch at Olympian. Frank, you want to get to this one?
Otay Ranch at Olympian. Otay has AJ Lopez at quarterback, Jaden Castillo in the backfield, and Xander Mendez out wide. But Olympian is undefeated for the first time since 2012.
How about it?
With quarterback Jaden Fuentes already nearly at 1,200 passing yards and 13 touchdowns, spreading it to Georgiani Estrada, Patricio Flats, and Gio Ware. I'm honestly stunned to see that Otay Ranch is 1-4.
Hey, it's because the Olympian Eagles are 5-0. Finally, the battle of the unbeatens. Nate Taylor's Rancho Bernardo Broncos at 4-0, hosting San Diego High. Cavers have allowed just 12 points all year. Quarterback Jaden Harris and receiver Kai Cooper headline the offense, while linebacker Xavier Wilson leads the defense. Rancho Bernardo sophomore quarterback Gage Weddle has 717 passing yards, 207 yards rushing with weapons Hugo Gonzalez, Christian Gonzalez, and Trey Durham. Linebacker Gavin Valencia already has 57 tackles. This is a fun game. It's going to be at Rancho Bernardo. And how about this? Stephen Cooper's son, Kai Cooper, plays defense. Eric Weddle's son, Gage Weddle, plays quarterback, and he does play defense. But how about that for San Diego Charger fans out there? Stephen Cooper and Eric Weddle coaching against each other with their sons playing against each other in high school football on a Friday night.
Makes you feel old, doesn't it?
No, that just makes a lot of people feel old. So that will be fun. If you want to go to a high school game tonight and you got nothing else going on, that sounds like a fun game to go attend at Rancho Bernardo High School. We are 3 hours in the books. We got one more hour before Gwen and Chris. Sam Levit will join us next. He's Frank Marchese. I'm Braden Surprenant. It's the Braden Surprenant Show, live and local at Baja Rick, San Diego's #1 sports station. 97.5 Fan.
Chris Ello
Sports talk and mostly baseball talk on 97 through the Fan is presented by Paramount Plus. Sylvester Stallone is back in the original hit series Tulsa King this season. Dwight faces his most dangerous adversaries yet, forcing him to fight for everything he's built and to protect his empire. Stream the new season of Tulsa King on Sunday, September 21st, exclusively on Paramount Plus. We are live at Baja Rick's, 176th Avenue here down in the gas lamp, getting you ready for Gwen and Chris. That will start at 2 o'clock. And then our guests, gentleman to my left that you can see on Frank Marchese's screen. Look at the two New Yorkers right there on the screen. That's great. That's phenomenal. Sam Levit with the Ecowater SoCal Padres pregame show at 5:40, getting into Padres baseball at 6:40. Sam, thanks for coming down.
Hey, how you doing?
It's doing well. Doing well. By the way, there's a couple of things
I'm on, right? Mike's working? Okay, we're good.
Well, you didn't do
Great.
the 1-2, check 1-2 that
No.
you usually do. We're going to ask you about that. You don't
Really?
want to count. You want to count to any
I
other
don't
number?
do 3. No, I
you
go
just do
check
1,
2,
2.
1, 2, 2, 2, check 1, 2, check 1, 2. Never 3.
You know what you sound
Can't go
like
to 3.
that we talked about in the first hour? You sound like you're making an announcement at Nordstrom, like in your department store.
I never thought about it that way, but I suppose so. Yes.
Men's shoes, 1, 2.
1, 2, 1, 1, 2, check 1, 2, check 1, 2. And then if I'm in the loft and people are there, I then start doing weird stuff. I'm like, hello, 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 hello.
As you should, because there might be a lot of people that don't see the speakers that think God's talking to them or something
That's
like
right.
that. So
Now,
where's that voice coming from?
The speaker I have there is not quite as good as the speakers you have here, but we get it done.
All right, this entire thing is about paying off the bid. So I got to know what have you seen at a TCU secondary this week?
Are
you prepared?
So I'm gonna
are
be
you
honest.
prepared for the Frogs tonight?
Yeah, I am. Now,
Okay.
Of course, you do note that his spelling of his last name is slightly off.
I do know that.
It is. I will say it is funny. And I did. I knew he was a guy, Sam Levit, when he was at Michigan State.
Okay.
I knew that. I knew he existed, and then obviously went to Arizona State and became the starter. And then when they played in the playoff last year, a lot of people texted me like, "Wait," and they were like, because their TVs would be like Sam Levit, and like, what?
I didn't know you had some more eligibility.
Yeah,
Sam.
so I've scouted the TCU defense, and I'm ready to go. So hold on. So they play TCU tomorrow.
Tonight at 6 o'clock.
Oh, wow.
You got.
That's why you had me on.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, I
You got a drive you got to make.
Yeah,
Yes,
exactly.
that's right.
You got to do the pregame show against the Arizona Diamondbacks, and you got to get.
That's
it out
right.
there.
Well, Frank texted me a couple of weeks ago something about the Arizona State game. I guess he wasn't playing well.
No, I was yelling at you because we were going for the picks.
For the picks we make on Thursday with Skyler.
And I was saying, you guys better not settle for this field goal because I need you guys at 3.5. So you got to score.
The weird thing was Frank must have caught me in some bad mood or something because I wasn't going along with it. I was like, I don't even remember what I texted you.
Didn't go along with the bit.
I don't remember. I can be kind of surly.
Well, this is the only.
No, really?
Well, would you get me in a bad mood? I was like, I just
You were
wasn't going.
watching-
And you were
you
like,
were watching-
I
you
was
were doing the
watching
game.
something else, or I was at the Padres game. It was something.
No,
and,
it was the Padres were on the road, so
Oh,
you
I
were
was-
at the studio.
Yeah,
watching the game.
and then it was like, why aren't you at the game? You're playing in the game. Of course you're watching.
exactly.
I'm like, whatever.
We had to pay off the bit because this is a kind of unique experience that we're doing a live remote. And Arizona State just has to play TCU. If Arizona State was playing tonight against anybody else, I wouldn't have cared. But you know what?
Got it.
Paid off the bit. The
So
other
your
question,
team, so your team could lose to me tonight. Is the point.
possibly. But you know what? I was going to ask you.
Not if you're not there.
The follow-up
But
question.
Arizona State's not. They're not playing that well, right?
They're 3-1.
Oh, they're 3-1.
They're actually favorites. They're
I mean,
favored by
I'm
3.5.
rooting. I root for them. I do. I root for them.
It'd kind of be hard if there was a quarterback in college that was named Braden Surprenant.
Surprenant.
I'd probably have to.
I
root
will
for
say
them.
though, it does.
It's very unique.
I don't necessarily feel the connection to him because it's a different spelling. I would totally get an Arizona State jersey
If
with
it had your
Levit
name
on the back if it was the right spelling. But the fact that it's not
Help
the
the
right
kid out with
spelling.
his NIL a little bit.
Yeah, I would totally get a jersey, but it's hard. But it's the same pronunciation. Sounds the same on TV, so go ASU.
The other question would have been how does it feel lining up against a quarterback that's better than you and Josh Hoover? But save that for the next time. I do want to talk about Padres, but there's obviously a lot of Padres that we need to discuss in terms of what they're going to do with their roster, how's the starting pitching rotation going to look like in the playoffs, and kind of how you play this kind of weekend out. I mean, as of right now. as we look at the scores, the Cubs have a 4-0 lead on the Cardinals. The Cubs this weekend would have to go 1-2, and the Padres have to sweep Arizona.
Yeah.
Not to say it's impossible for the Padres to host on Tuesday, but if you're the Padres, you're obviously managing this game this weekend. Probably not like you really absolutely have to sweep the series.
Yeah, look, I to me, if I'm running the Padres, I am prioritizing making sure that this team is healthy and rested and ready. I understand, and you're right. If the Cubs win today, it becomes that much more unlikely that it's going to happen. So the Padres, to their benefit, it's good that the Cubs play early today because, I don't know if that's going to affect today's lineup or not.
And do we think Mike Schultz watching that game?
I don't know.
Multiple lineups going to try to play at home?
But certainly tomorrow and Sunday, I would imagine, that might play a factor depending on what the Cubs do. But even regardless of that, to me, home or road, it's just too important to get these guys some rest. Like I think about Manny Machado in particular. Look, I wouldn't be surprised at all if Manny doesn't play a couple of games in this series, right? Get him rested, give him a breather before the postseason begins, because it's been a tough go for Manny over the course of the last couple of months. A really, really tough go, and you just need him in such a big way, especially without Ramon Laureano now. So to go back to your original point, if I'm the Padres, I am still prioritizing rest and getting this team ready to play a wild card series, no matter where that is, before I really worry about the home field thing, because to your point, it's still unlikely. I mean, the Padres, even if they swept, would still need a lot of help, right? So
they need at least 2 wins out of the Cardinals.
And that starts with the idea that they're going to sweep a D-backs team that has
still
a ton to play for. Yeah.
Depending on what the Mets do tonight against Miami, right?
Yeah, and that's a fascinating series too, because, well, for a lot of reasons that I'm sure Frank can tell you about in the history of the New York Mets when it comes to collapses, but also because they're going to face some really good starting pitching. The Mets are, and that Mets team. I mean, they did a nice job taking 2 out of 3 in Chicago, and again, Frank can tell you about more of this. But that just means nothing with this team this year, right? I mean, they could go get swept in Miami, and you probably wouldn't be surprised. So we'll see.
We'll save the Mets talk for you guys later. You guys can do your Mets podcast later. The miserable Mets podcast.
I'm off the Mets. That's
that's Frank's throwing you under the bus.
That's Frank's arena now.
Such a liar.
That's Frank's
throwing
arena
him under
now.
the bus. I love it. The other thing too, so you mentioned the rest. To me, I feel like Jeremiah Estrada and Adrian Morejon are a couple of guys that probably you don't want to see too much this weekend.
I would agree with that. I think Estrada in particular has struggled quite a bit. The home run ball has really bit him. Yeah, I would not like to see those guys pitch very much in this series. I don't see where it would be necessary unless let's say the Cardinals come back to beat the Cubs today, and all of a sudden you're smelling a real opportunity to host that series. I still think you've got to prioritize. That bullpen is going to be so important to this team's success, and if they go deep or not, right? I mean, I just think they're going to be so vital. The recipe that I think the Padres are really going to have to lean on in the postseason is relying on that bullpen super, super heavily. So to your point, Estrada, Morejon, they have been used a ton. They've both been a little bit shakier as of late, Estrada in particular. And yeah, I don't need to see those guys even pitch in 2 games in this series. I mean, it would be nice to see those guys get some serious rest.
Let's see a lot of Marinaccio this weekend.
Yeah.
Let's see what they make a roster move, bring JP Sears up. I mean, there's a lot of arms that they have available that they could potentially get some use out of.
And I think what's really interesting, I think it's a little easy to maybe figure that it would be a Darvish in a game 2, King in a game 3, because it lines up that way tonight and tomorrow. We'll see what Mike Schultz says later today. I don't know that they're going to reveal much, but I'm not totally convinced that is going to be the case. I mean, we'll see. I mean, it could be. What if Michael King just throws a couple of innings tomorrow? I mean, I don't know what
they could have him throw 40 pitches.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what the goal tonight for Darvish is going to necessarily be. I mean, we'll see how it shakes out, but Darvish hasn't been asked to go throw 110 pitches all year, and he's not going to be asked to do that probably in the postseason either. So I don't think that just because it's Darvish today, King tomorrow necessarily means that is what is going to happen in the postseason. Let's see what the plan is really for those guys the next couple of days, because for all you know, again, just in King's case, like he could throw a couple of innings tomorrow and be good to go for a game 2 on Wednesday. So we'll see.
I think it's a lot of conversations, obviously, with those guys that know what their body is, what they need, how many reps they think they need, and then get them off their feet as quickly as possible. We're talking with Sam Levit here at Baja Ricks. Leading to Gwen and Chris are going to be down here. Matt Scraby, Chris Zello. They got some prizes to give away. We do have a prize to give away as Xander Bogaerts bobblehead going into the next break. You got to be here present to win. What do they do with Dylan Cease and Randy Vasquez? See, that's another big question to me, and there's different ways you can go about it.
Yeah.
He either starts in the series, which I don't think is going to be the case. You can use him in the bullpen. Maybe you can save him for the divisional series. But the question really is, I think they might use Randy Vasquez as a bullpen arm, maybe in a piggyback. But with Dylan Cease, I think it's a little bit different. If Dylan Cease does not get scheduled to start a game in Chicago, is he on the roster?
That's a great question. I don't know. It's funny. I think a lot of us assumed that he was going to be on the outside of those 3 games looking in as far as starting. But then you hear some rumblings the last couple of days that he's had good outings against the Cubs, and maybe that won't be the case.
Right.
Maybe they could use him. So
team that drafted him.
Yeah, we'll see. It would be hard for me to envision Dylan Cease getting a start over Darvish and King at this point. If he's not going to start, that's a great question. Is there a bullpen role for him? Or do the Padres, to your point, just say, you know what? Hey, when we get to the division series, we're going to need you, and we'll see you then. Hopefully we get there. I don't know how I feel about Dylan Cease coming out of the bullpen. That's not something he's been asked to do.
No.
We saw what it looked like when he pitched on 3 days rest last postseason, when he did something out of the norm, because of sometimes his command issues. I don't know that he's the ideal candidate for me to come out of the bullpen. So anything is possible. Look, I thought it was interesting when you started hearing some of the rumblings that maybe they're considering having him start because of his history against the Cubs. And, look, with Michael King and Yu Darvish as well, obviously there are question marks with them too of we'll see Michael King throw tomorrow. But look, I thought Michael King in that start against the White Sox, he had moments where he looked really good. There were also moments where he was really erratic. And it kind of made you nervous because he was doing it against the White Sox. You can't do that against the Cubs. They will make you pay for it in a much bigger way. So I don't know. I don't know at this moment. I think we got to see how the next couple of days pan out, and it'll be interesting because if Dylan Cease is not going to start, I don't quite know what that role would be if you really want him coming out of the bullpen. And Randy's an interesting candidate too. I think Randy can go get you outs in a postseason game. I do.
And,
I have
he's
some trust
shown
in
that
him.
he's been able to come out of the bullpen. He did it in New York, and then he did it in that opener series.
Or at least Randy is on the roster as somebody who, okay, if it is a game 2, game 3, whatever, if Pivetta struggles game 1, look, the hook on these guys, as typical in the postseason, is probably going to be pretty quick. Maybe Pivetta gets a little bit of a longer hook, but the leash is certainly not super long in these games. So could Randy be on the roster as somebody that is there if you need a guy to get some outs and cover some innings? Yeah, I mean, to me, he would be a really, really good candidate, but maybe Dylan Cease is that candidate too. It's going to be interesting.
I think it's definitely more of a Randy Vasquez makes a lot more sense too.
To me, it's more Randy.
I agree.
To me, it's more Randy fills that
because
role.
There's a couple of things like it. Let's say you win game 1 with Pivetta and Darvish gets into trouble in game 2 instead of burning your bullpen. It's Vasquez's game now all of a sudden to go out. And if we come back, then you can use the bullpen. But, there's a lot of different situations. But also, you work with – you've been covering this team now for a handful of years. You understand certain pitchers can flip between the bullpen and starting roles. Yeah. They have the mentality to do it. They have that, bulldog, give me the ball, whoever. We saw Nick Martinez do that in 2022. Right. I think if you asked Joe Musgrove if healthy to do that, he would totally do it. And not saying you would, but like Nick Pivetta strikes me as a guy that could probably do it. Yu Darvish is a guy that probably could do it. Dylan Cease to me is not he's kind of a routine guy that needs to be part of his starting routine. He hasn't been a bullpen guy, so even though the idea of using him as one of the 4 horsemen because he could go out there and throw it 100 miles an hour seems like a good idea. There's that mental makeup for certain guys and that mentality for a lot of pitchers that some guys can do that and not everybody can do that. It doesn't mean you're a bad pitcher, but it's just a different ask.
I think it's a big ask for somebody like a Cease. I'm with you. Look, if it were up to me, if I were doing it right now, I would obviously go Pivetta game 1, which he's going to pitch. I'd go King game 2, Darvish game 3. Take your pick. Yeah, I won't argue with you if you Darvish game 2, King game 3. I need to, if I'm the Padres, knowing what Michael King can be when he's right, I wouldn't want a series to end without Michael King getting a crack.
I'd agree with that.
That's my opinion. So I would do King game 2, and then Darvish, you have faith in for a decisive game 3. I'd probably look at Dylan Cease and say, hey, when we get to the division series, we're going to need you.
Right.
We're going to need you to start and be great. And have a Randy more in that kind of long man type bullpen role. But, I will totally understand that if they look at it from the perspective of, hey, we've got Dylan Cease, who, despite some of his struggles, has great stuff and could turn it on any night. And maybe that night comes in October and in the postseason. I would understand it if they put him on the roster for that reason.
We got a couple of minutes left.
Or maybe he's going to start. I don't know.
Yeah, we don't really know. And there's but the thing is they got a lot of good options here. It's not like you're going with, and as much as people are freaking out about Dylan Cease, it's not like you're going with Clevenger or Minaya.
No, it's a very different
It's a way different situation. Now, offensively and lineup construction, you took a big blow with losing Ramon Laureano. And that's especially with a Cubs starting staff that has multiple lefties, but also on top of that, like Tony Gwynn mentioned,
bullpen
in the roundtables, the bullpen being lefties is actually probably a bigger problem than the starters. So is Gavin Sheets going to start games against lefties? Are you going to start Bryce Johnson? We talked about on our show about, maybe if the bullpen's more of a problem, then Johnson's the guy off the bench to break up one of those 3 lefties in a row. But now all of a sudden you got to tinker with your lineup more than you would like to.
Yeah, look, I would highly assume that Sheets is going to get the start in left. If that happens every game of the series, I don't know. I would assume that they'll lean towards giving Sheets the start in left, but I think it's a pretty good option to have Bryce Johnson out there. I mean, he's a good defender. Offensively, when he's had opportunities, he's really done fine. Mm-hmm. I mean, he's probably not going to hit you a home run, but can he get on base a couple of times? Sure. I mean, he's really done a nice job when he's had opportunities, and it gives you the ability to have Sheets off the bench and have a little power off your bench, because if he's in your starting lineup, you look at that bench, there's just not much power off that bench, so you lose that ability.
But let me ask you this: Are you more comfortable in him going against the lefty off the bench, or Bryce Johnson coming against a lefty off the bench? Maybe it's a Jose Iglesias. But if you're worried about the lefty-lefty matchup, and we talked about if seeing a guy multiple times will be easier for a guy like Sheets than seeing a guy for the first time as a lefty, do you really have that power bat off the bench if it's a left-hander coming out of the bullpen?
Maybe not. Like I said, I'd lean towards starting Sheets.
Same.
And to me, if you're picking between the two of having a little power off your bench and having Gavin Sheets just face a lefty multiple times, I'll have Sheets face the lefty, because he's capable. He's capable, and in a postseason sense, for a team that doesn't hit a lot of home runs, Gavin Sheets could go yard twice
in his 2 at-bats.
And win you the game. So, defensively, you're a little concerned, and he's been better out there since the start of the year, but it's a tough place to play. The wind, the ivy, all of it makes you a little nervous. But look, there's not a perfect solution. Nobody's walking in and replacing Ramon Laureano.
No.
I mean, it just is what it is. So to me, yes, I would start Sheets and roll with it.
Remember who hit a home run that was a right-hander in Chicago earlier this year? Martin Maldonado.
Get him on.
You could put him on the roster.
I mean,
if they really wanted to.
The loss of Ramon, of all the guys you could lose, especially for this series in Chicago, Ramon is a really tough one. Because he's really good, and he can do something really good every time he comes to the plate. He's somebody who hits lefties really well, and they're going to see a ton of lefties. He's somebody who plays really good defense in a place that might be a little tough to play with the wind and the ivy and some of the nooks and crannies and the corners there. But it is what it is. I mean, you got to step up, and you got to figure out a way to get by it. But I'm generally with you. I would start Sheets. You're not going to have a lot of power on your bench, but it's going to be what it is. I mean, it's just going to be you're going to really rely on your starting lineup to go get you some runs.
Stars got to do it too, and it's not like the team has got all this power all over the place in terms of statistics this year. They do have it in them, but just not in the statistics. Sam, we got to get to a break. We got to let you get locked in for a pregame show, the Ecowater SoCal Padres pregame show at 5:40, coming on after Gwen and Chris. So thanks again for stopping by. We appreciate it.
Yeah, of course. My pleasure. Go Sun Devils.
No, that's a foul. That's a foul on Sam. Foul on Sam. Frogs tonight. Frogs by 90.
Who's back in the studio right now?
Adam.
Hi, Adam.
You gonna say roll tide just to upset him too?
Yeah, is that? Yes,
Alabama's
roll tide.
got Georgia.
I'm against all your teams.
Apparently. He hates all your teams.
Yes.
We're here at Baja Ricks. We got to take a quick break. When we come back, Drake Hills will join us to help finish up the show. We'll also be giving away a Xander Bogaerts bobblehead to people that have signed up. So more to come on the Braden Surprenant Show, setting us over on Sports Station 97 through the Fan.
Hey, it's Ben from Ben and Wolf.
Got a lot to get to here and not a lot of time. Braden Surprenant Show live and local each and every day from 10 to 2. Today's live broadcast at Baja Rick's is brought to you by Santo Tequila, 100% Blue Weber Agave. Has some Santo Tequila in front of us here. We're now being joined by Drake Hills, who usually joins us on Fridays. We're going to talk a little bit different than just soccer today. We're going to talk some Padres baseball. Drake, local product here out of San Diego as well. Welcome to Baja Rick's.
Oh, man.
Thanks for coming down.
Yeah, thanks. I appreciate it. Thanks for – it's a nice breeze.
It's a great afternoon.
Friday afternoon. Padres baseball, a little bit of college football.
You get yourself some Santo Tequila?
More of a whiskey guy.
You can't be saying that when we're sponsored by tequila.
I thought honesty would be appreciated, but yeah, sure. Give me a little bit of tequila. Fine.
Hey, well, we have Santo Reposado shots for $10 on special tonight. We got the Blanco shots for $8. You can also get a Santo Margarita for $10. Maybe a margarita is up your alley on a Friday, Trey.
Hey, maybe. A little Padres baseball. That sounds like more of a box. You know, you get in the box, you have a margarita. You know, you're in the seats, you're in maybe 100 level, 200 level, 300 level, get yourself a beer.
I also was told this bacon cheeseburger quesadilla is fire. $14.
Now that looks spectacular.
I'm gonna be getting some food on the way out of here because I'm gonna have to get some food before I go coach a high school football game.
The bacon is key.
Bacon cheeseburger quesadilla.
Yeah, the bacon in there is key.
They got TJ Dog for $10.
Okay.
And then you got buffalo chicken fries, $14.
Even better.
I know you were eyeballing the menu too. There's a lot of stuff on there.
I thought this was the 97.3 custom menu, like gnarly nachos. I was like, okay, you know. But then I'm looking at the taco platters. I'm looking like, wow, which is Braden the barbecue chipotle ribeye tacos? Is that your choice?
I mean, that sounds pretty fire. But I saw somebody earlier having a California burrito.
Mm-hmm.
I might have to get the Cali B.
I am birria, so that's.
They said the birria grilled cheese was out of this world.
Yeah, like that would be my choice.
Okay.
If I, come in here, got my Padres. You've got the nice custom.
I do.
City Connect.
It's the last day they're wearing these.
Yeah.
The Padres got this for us when they came.
The end of September. I was at opening day, so to kind of get to where we are now, it's like, whoa, dog days of summer went by pretty fast. Baja Rick's.
Could be a good time tonight. All right,
Friday
so there's
night.
a couple of things I wanted to talk. We've been discussing on the show. Frank's weighed his opinion.
Okay.
We'll get to Penn State, Oregon in a second.
Okay.
But Padres baseball. All right, so we have a couple of things. So now the rotation seems like it's been set with Pivetta game 1. It sounds like the way things are shaping up, Michael King will go game 3. The question is it you, Darvish, Dylan Cease, or Randy Vasquez on day 2 in a playoff series in Chicago?
Gosh, Pivetta day 1.
Yes, and you got King
King
game
is
3.
on game 3.
It's set up right now for you, Darvish, to be the number 2 guy. And so you look at it, and I don't. It's probably my choice. You go with the experience of Darvish, or do you go with the recent success of Randy Vasquez?
That was going to be my initial thought, but I'm thinking playoff baseball, right? Wild card. I think I want to go Darvish.
Yes.
And as you said, like the experience specifically in that pressure, knowing how to perform, knowing how to get outs, I think I want you, Darvish. But initially, again, my first thought was Randy Vasquez at the end of the year, playing good baseball, pitching great. But I think I want to go you, Darvish.
So Darvish gets a start, which means now the conversation goes to what do you do with Dylan Cease and what do you do with Randy Vasquez? You put both in the bullpen? Are you going to use Dylan Cease? If you're not going to use Dylan Cease as a starter, is he on the roster for the wild card series?
I think I like Cease as maybe a mid-inning guy or mid-game guy, maybe 6th inning, maybe something like that.
Oh, so you're in line with what was an idea from one of our people at the station where, and here we'll lay this out for you.
Okay, context.
The 4 horsemen, when the Padres were at the best this season, their 4 horsemen were kicking ass.
Yeah.
And that was Jason Adam and Adrian Morejon and Robert Suarez and Jeremiah Estrada. So you don't have Adam anymore, but you do have Mason Miller. So that replenishes that. Now, Estrada's struggling a little bit. What if you replace Estrada with Dylan Cease? And so you go Cease in the 6th inning. You just need him. He can go all out, throw it 100 miles an hour, use that slider, throw the slider till your arm falls off, get me the 6th inning, and then I know I can go with Morejon in the 7th, Mason Miller, and Robert Suarez. That moves Estrada earlier if you need somebody. I don't mind the idea. Now, the mental change of being a starter to the bullpen is always difficult for a lot of players. So you have to understand that. But that's not a bad play if you're doing everything on paper.
Yeah, especially if you listen. If we want to go back to Randy Vasquez being the guy instead of Yu Darvish, I still would use Dylan Cease in the same way, right? Especially if I'm thinking I just want one out from you. Or 1 inning, I should say.
1 inning.
I just want
outs.
1 inning
Get your
from
best
Dylan
3
Cease,
guys.
right? If I give Randy Vasquez has the hot arm right now, can you give me 4 2/3? Can you give me 5, right? And get me to Dylan Cease where I can get you from 5 to 6, and then depend on the guys as you said.
But if you go with Randy Vasquez and Dylan Cease combo like that, which I don't mind, I think you can use both as a starting situation. I would probably rather have Dylan Cease go first and then Randy Vasquez.
Okay.
Because Randy has experience coming out of the bullpen. He's done it in New York. He did it as a Yankee. He's done it this year behind Wandy Peralta as an opener for him against the Dodgers. And Dylan Cease, 1 time through the order, that gets you to, if he's cruising and he does well in the first time through the order, that's 3 innings. Then you got Randy Vasquez, and all of a sudden you have bridged the gap to the bullpen.
I'll tell you something that might answer some of these questions for you guys. The Cubbies have put up a 7 spot in the 7th inning. It is now 11-1 Cubs over the Cardinals right now.
Yeah. So now at this point, if that score holds, which I think it will, because the Cardinals have looked terrible today.
Pretty bad.
If that score holds, now the Padres have to sweep Arizona, and the Cubs have to lose the next 2 to St. Louis in order for you to host on Tuesday.
Yeah.
Going to Chicago.
I'm thinking a 2 out of 3 is more likely.
Against Arizona.
I'm thinking a 2
Arizona's
out of 3.
got their back against the wall, too.
But also just the way that the Padres have fared against the D-backs, this year is that's pretty lofty to think about 2 out of 3. But you're at home, end the season. I loved what I saw in the Brewers series as well. So that kind of gave me, I was like, oh well, you have Randy Vasquez, you have Machado's kind of back into kind of him being him, right? Tatis homers. You think Merrill, right? Guys are playing, they're back to their normal selves. Sweeping the D-backs, even
it's
at home. I'm not really thinking that could take place, but I don't think you need to, right? I think getting 2 out of 3 is sufficient.
Who got hit? Somebody got hit, Adam said, in our headset. Oh, got hit in the knee. Well, that's a development if he gets taken out of that game, but I think it'll probably be okay. I do want to talk about one more thing involving the Padres. We do got to get the Penn State Oregon talk too. I've already had as soon as
I already did TCU Arizona State. I was excited to talk about that.
We can talk about that too if you want. But the Penn State Oregon thing is big.
Yeah.
Our mutual friend, the Penn State guy, immediately said, "Get the Oregon Duck off the show." I can't believe you're not locked in for Penn State right now. We'll discuss that when we come back.
Yeah, I would love to.
Yeah, we got to discuss that when we come back. Drake Hill's joining us. We're at Baja. Ricks, come out, say hi. 176th Avenue. We do got a Manny Machado signed baseball that we're going to give away at the end of the show. We got some other specials that we want to talk about as well. Final segment of the Braden Surprenant Show leading into Gwen and Chris coming up next.
not finished.
Baja Rick has hooked it up. We got the TJ dog now. Thank you, Baja Rick. Look at that. Look at all this food.
Baja Rick is on a heater right now.
We got Chris Ellis TJ dog. There you go, Drake. So we got the TJ dog. That is $10 today.
Just forget our faces. Look at
the TJ dog. That's incredible. That's $10 on the Baja Rick's game day special.
Onions with the fries. That's for you.
I'm certain. Yeah, no, that's
for you.
There you go.
Sorry, Chris.
I'm going to need something a little bit smaller.
We got the California burrito.
I'm going to need something a little bit smaller than this.
Right?
And
California burrito.
I have a beloved. We got our birria grilled cheese. All right.
I heard that's
sauce right there.
Look at that.
This right here. You see that cup?
Kosame?
The cup of champions right there.
We've also got the
cup of blessings.
Oh, wait, the bacon cheeseburger.
Yeah, the bacon cheeseburger
quesadilla there. I'm going to be devouring this. I'm going to be asleep by the time
go for that because this
Cathedral game starts.
Way too much.
You got to coach after this. I don't like your chances of being.
Granite Hill's got lucky right now.
At your best.
I mean, look at this. I'm going to have to wait. I'm going to let it cool for the final segment here.
I want these fries as well. Don't forget about the fries.
Devour it while I watch Gwen and Chris.
Sheesh.
We are here at Baja Rick's at 176th Avenue down to the gas lamp. I want to mention that Baseball Talk on 97 Through the Fans presented by Paramount Plus. Sylvester Stallone is back in the original hit series, Tulsa King. This season, Dwight faces his most dangerous adversaries yet, forcing him to fight for everything he's built to protect his empire. Stream the new season of Tulsa King on Sunday, September 21st, exclusively on Paramount Plus. I want to mention that this hour on 97 Through the Fan is brought to you by Las Vegas Convention and Visitors. Take a break from the mundane and escape to something a little more fabulous with the first ever fabulous 5-day sale from September 22nd to September 26th. Find deals at all your favorite Vegas hotels. Plan your fabulous escape and learn more at visitlasvegas.com. Sam Levit was on with us earlier. Gwen and Chris will be taking over for us. It will be Chris Ello and Matt Scraby. Chris Ello has stolen the TJ dog, and he has already devoured it.
That was his.
He said I thought he already had one.
No.
Chris's dog.
You guys are trying to steal.
There it is.
Trying to steal his
Chris
TJ dog. He was fed ready to go. He's got the City Connect too. Final day of the City Connects. What are your thoughts about that?
Well, I don't really think I have too many thoughts.
We're getting new ones next year.
Yeah, because that's what I was going to say. Is I'm thinking about next year. If we're talking about City Connect, I want to see a new brand. I want to see a new shade. I mean, I appreciated the barrio, the passion of San Diego coming to fruition.
Mm-hmm.
But I think I'm excited about a new concept. Right? It's a good era. It's a good couple of years. Let's move on to the next. But it was good for while it was here.
Juan Rees in the chat. Elo always going to go with the TJ Glizzy. Like it, the TJ Glizzy.
TJ Glizzy?
Does Chris L even know what a Glizzy is? Oh, he doesn't know.
He don't need to know.
He doesn't need to know.
He don't need to know.
The Glizzy. I love it. So we'll be passing it on to them in just a little bit. We do at the end of the show, if you haven't signed up yet, the people that are here, we'll be giving away the Manny Machado autographed baseball at the end of the show. You got to be present to win. Go check out and talk to Jeff Hamby. Afternoon show is going to be giving away some great prizes during their show today as they lead you in the Ecowater SoCal Padres pregame show with Sam Levit coming up after that. Padres baseball at 6:40. What a great guy Baja Rick is. The service has been awesome. We just thought about the food.
He's pristine.
And he was on
his delivery
so
was like it's easy for him. He's listening. He's tapped in.
That's right. He's tapped in at 97 Through the Fan. Again, Santo Tequila, they got tequila specials today here at Baja Rick's. They got the Reposado shots for $10. They got the Blanco shots for $8. Come on down to the ballpark early. Hang out at Baja Rick's. Hang out with Gwen and Chris, and then get into the game. Get your food here. It's going to be a great time.
Here your grilled cheese, baby.
All right, you got called out for being on the show.
I don't know why.
Our resident Penn State, one of our resident Penn State fans was upset.
I was going to say, not me.
It wasn't Frank. You know, the Ducks and the Nittany Lions can get along right now on the show, but apparently one of our mutual friends was upset about you being on air, saying, I'm not locked in rooting for Penn State. And unfortunately, I have to. I'm at a Penn State watch party tomorrow. My apologies.
I was going to say, you're a little busy. I know you're not worried about Arizona State, but you've got your own work cut out for you.
Tonight.
Yeah, you got Granite Hills tonight.
We just talked to their quarterback.
Horned Frogs are going.
Yeah, we just talked to Sam Levit, their quarterback.
Oh, there you go. Yeah,
he seems confident.
Yeah, Raleek in the backfield. I mean, that's not a game to slouch at, an offense to slouch at. But I want to get back to this Oregon-Penn State thing. This is very new, all right? Let's not pretend like this is a story. It's not for me. This is a response on behalf of Oregon.
Yes.
It's a game.
That's right.
All right? It's a serious game.
Yeah.
This is a season-defining game for both teams, all right? Oregon, I will concede, we have not had a road game of this level, of this caliber, in, I would probably say, 2 to 3 seasons.
Okay.
All
When was
right.
the last time? What are you thinking? SC on the road?
Yeah,
Washington on the road?
I'm thinking Washington on the road. Michael Penix at quarterback. Unfortunately, Cam Lewis missed the field goal. Oregon loses. Washington wins. Obviously, UW gets to the national championship. That was the last time that I can seriously say that Oregon has been on the ropes, on the road, in a hostile environment. Happy Valley, that is probably 2 tiers above that.
Oh, yeah.
So I have no question that this is a era-defining game for Dan Lanning, coach of the Oregon Ducks. But if we're connecting Penn State and Oregon, Big Ten championship, yeah, I mean, Penn State, I wouldn't be tripping because look at you inside the college football playoff last year. You had a good run.
So it made it tough for SMU and Happy Valley. So
it certainly was better than what the Oregon Ducks did. If you watch that Rose Bowl.
That Rose Bowl was rough, dude. I felt bad for you and Nikki P. By the way, we got to pour one out for one of our friends, Nikki, mutual friend. He's an Oregon Ducks fan, too. Okay. He's been an Oregon Ducks fan since 2006. So, you know what? It's been 20 years. It's part of our rules that we're going to explain to you in a second. So I think he's earned the right to be an Oregon Ducks fan, even though he went to SC. Interesting.
Yeah, I think.
We don't poke fun, but here's the deal. He's in a wedding this weekend. Mm-hmm. He's the best man in a wedding tomorrow. All the weekends to be in a wedding.
I want to know the time.
He's host, dude. It's all day. I mean, it's going to be all day.
You said he's the best man.
He can't get out of it.
You're cooked.
And so he can't watch Oregon Penn State.
Yeah, it's over with.
And he's got, tonight he's got the rehearsal dinner, so he can't watch TCU Arizona State. He wanted to go to the Granite Hills Cathedral game. Can't go to that.
Yeah.
This is the worst weekend to have a wedding.
There's no chance because after his life is going to change after tomorrow night.
Oh yeah,
he's going to say that he's the best man in a wedding. That's a life event right there, right? And then your season of your team is leaning upon what goes down 7:30 Eastern kickoff in Happy Valley. Man, I don't envy him.
No.
I don't envy him.
We got the Ryder Cup this weekend.
Yeah.
We got great baseball this weekend.
Yeah.
We got NFL Sunday, of course. Mm-hmm. Every Sunday is always a great NFL Sunday. And, of course, the biggest college football slate that we have seen in the regular season, probably in a long time.
Certainly Big Ten. I mean, you got USC, Illinois as well. So even his alma mater. I wouldn't necessarily say he's afraid of Illinois, given what happened against the Hoosiers. But at the same time, I would be ticked off if I were the Fighting Illini. So I would want to watch that as well.
We talked about you missed the sports rules yesterday about rooting for teams.
Yeah, please inform me. I'm
Frank
curious.
Wrote it down. Does Frank remember the rules?
I did not write anything down. I do remember some of the things. Go Panthers. I heard that one. No NFL teams. Something about no NFL teams. But other than that, no, I don't.
This is the rules in order to justify your fandom without me calling you a bandwagoner.
And this is sports in general? Or are we talking football in general?
We're talking about
college football?
We're talking about in general.
Okay, gotcha.
I gatekeep fandom all the time, and I'm not afraid to admit it.
Okay.
If that makes me a bleep, then it makes me a bleep. But I tell you what, I gatekeep fandom. So here's the deal.
All right.
It's got to be somebody. It's got to be the teams from your hometown.
Oh, I can't stand that with the NFL.
Justifies it.
I can't stand that.
Justifies it. Hang on, we'll get there. So you got to.
We're talking relocation. That's why I said that.
Well, so I don't root for them anymore because they left. But anyway, justification.
Well, then that just
no. It's
That's why you said we're going to get to it. There are exceptions.
So this is a justification for your fandom.
Okay.
Where you grew up.
Okay.
What teams your parents rooted for, because you kind of don't really have a choice in the matter sometimes.
Yeah, those are your first sports teams before you come into manhood or womanhood, right?
If you were born in D.C., but your parents are from San Diego and they made you be Padres fan, there's justification for that, for those people. Schools you attended or your close family attended.
Okay. And this is ranking by priority, right?
No, it just doesn't matter. That's just in general. The teams that you can root
I would argue that it should be ranked by priority.
Okay. Well, you can add that to the list.
Good.
But those are the three main rules. What was the other one that we had? I think there was a fourth one in there.
There was a priority, like if you root for, like for
in
me.
college, if you have multiple colleges you root for, you have to give me a priority list.
Yeah, I have a priority list that happened 2 weekends ago. Oregon Northwestern, undergrad.
That was the last one. The last
paid
one,
tuition at both.
The last one is if you grow up in an area that doesn't have a team for the sport that you like, you're obligated. You can pick whoever you want.
Again, I connect that to number one.
Okay.
Because of the whole relocation thing. Here's my problem.
Okay.
All right. We're in San Diego, so Chargers, right? Automatic violation if you choose a division rival. Automatic violation. You go from the Chargers to the Raiders or Chargers to the Broncos. Or
once the team leaves, it's like the transfer portal. You can go. Your coach left. You can enter the transfer portal. Portal is open.
No.
Transfer portal is open.
But
that invalidates your allegiance originally.
But there's a caveat to it. The caveat is you have to be a fan of that team for X amount of years in order to not be considered a bandwagoner.
Okay, so what is that? Like a temporary fandom? Or are you on probation as a fan?
Yes.
Yeah.
You're probationary fan.
Again,
that means I could call you a bandwagoner, but then after, like Nicky P, he's been 20 years as an Oregon fan. He's graduated to real fan.
Again,
he's stuck with it for that long.
If we're using the Oregon reference, I'm gonna pick legacy Pac-10, Pac-12 schools. I'm gonna go Pac-10 actually. So no Colorado, no Utah.
Okay.
All right. Going to SC or Washington or Arizona as an Oregon fan. Right, that was your team for whatever the year's discrepancy level is, right? No, violation.
Well, we said that rule too. You can't be like a UT fan, like a Texas fan, and then go to TCU or Baylor and then root for UT against your school.
Yeah,
that's a foul.
Again, like if let's the whole conference realignment thing. Yes, Oregon, UW, SC, UCLA, they're going to the Big Ten. Okay, if you are no longer an Oregon fan, I think that is okay.
Yes.
If you're going to a new conference and now you have old rivalries, new matchups, right? Oregon, Penn State, for example. If you want to be a Penn State fan, fine. But to your point, I do agree with that. Like, you can't go for the old team.
No, not when they're playing your school
you can't do that.
That you attended.
But again, I stand by the divisional matchup.
What are your teams?
Yeah, Oregon.
Okay,
right?
you went to Oregon.
Paid tuition, got the degree, piece of paper. Northwestern, same thing. Paid tuition, got the degree.
And do you root for Oregon over Northwestern?
Oh, I go Oregon.
I think undergrad over grad
every time.
Next one.
Okay, NFL. So raised as a Falcons and a Saints fan, mom and dad.
Okay.
All right. I chose the Chargers.
Local.
Because I grew up here. My parents did not.
That's also fair.
So I chose that. College, LSU to Oregon. Okay. So I was raised an LSU fan. My dad's also a Saints fan. You get the boot state.
And then you went to Oregon, though.
All right. NBA. This is where it gets interesting.
You don't have a team here.
I don't, and I still don't have a team because I'm not rooting for an LA team.
I agree with that. That's a good
I think
play
that
right
should
there.
That should be in the rankings as well. If you have a city beef,
yes,
you got a city rivalry.
Mm-hmm.
All right. As a San Diego basketball fan,
what about Orange County?
What about them?
There's not a beef with Orange County. I root for the Ducks, and the Ducks have the goals here. So
I wouldn't trip over that. Right? If you want to say you're a Ducks fan instead of a Kings fan,
yes,
okay, all right, that's fine. That's fine. What else? What did we miss? Football, basketball,
the NFL, the NBA. Oh, I mean, MLS.
You want to go?
FC.
Yeah, you want to go soccer? I mean, before San Diego FC this year.
That was the thing. We said if you obviously can't. You have to go pick a Champions League team.
Yeah.
You have to pick the Serie A, all those teams, because you're not going to have one in the United States.
Correct.
That's open, I think.
Correct. Yeah,
that's an open draft.
That's very open. But here's the politics of that, right? Very much the rules that we've just covered are over enforced twofold, right? You have to have a story to the team. You can't just meeny, miny, mo.
Yeah, I would
right?
agree with that.
Because we don't understand in America this franchisement to family founding.
Yes.
Right? We understand relocation and family ownership over generations. You have teams over there that have been almost 200 years old.
It's true.
Right? So the story, and also not to mention that there's intersectionality involved. Your religion, your politics, your class.
Right.
All that stuff matters.
Out there it does.
Yeah.
Drake, appreciate you joining us. We didn't even talk about soccer, but we'll talk about that next week.
Go Ducks.
Ducks.
That's the big point. San Diego FC at home finale against the San Jose Earthquakes.
That's tomorrow. All right, for Frank Marquez, for Drake Hills, I'm Braden Surprenant. Big thanks to Baja, Rick, Squid, and Chris. Coming up next, we got a Manny Machado autographed baseball to get rid of.
Time
And
to
I
eat,
gotta
baby.
eat this too. We'll talk to you guys on Monday.